Doesn't happen. RPK gives the nod that he is indeed fine. Everything is okay. 10-1. Money comes back in to favor of Flash Gaming. If you are just joining us, it is the 0-2 game here in the Swiss format. One map loss for either of these teams will mean they're out of the tournament, looking very likely to be Flash Gaming, and fair play to them. They came in last minute to replace Tyloo. So it's not that they were prepared for the tournament and everything is their full lineup. It's just been like, guys, you can get to the major, you're in. So thank you to them for filling in the very last moment. And this might be their final few rounds here.
Looking likely indeed. Down. Both top mid and at the arch. Hayes decides to play behind safety. That's going to allow them to wrap on toward arch, excuse me, onto opposite side, and rightfully so. Attacker is absolutely dominating. Finally inside of the pit, they get something working. Remember, they weren't playing there. An Attacker with yet another ace, his second in the event. And this one, I would say, more impressive as he mows down from two angles.
Well, this is quite good, wasn't it? Some signs of life, at least, for Attacker. Wonderful work there. Holds strong in the pit as he manages to get 5 kills there. Kings out that USP to finish things off. A little wall bang to get the killing blow there. Like we said, their money is very strong for EnVyUs, and so is Happy. He's on 16 kills, 6 deaths. And oh, he does go down to a CZ here, so maybe not as strong as I originally thought. Some of the rounds have been close. Flashbang towards middle allows the AK to peek towards, not the T-steps, but you can look towards the underpass. K's now ready and waiting. He gives the CZ, of course, to XMS. Like we mentioned before, he loves that sort of weaponry. That's where he thrives, it seems. 10-2. Flash Gaming, I can't stress enough, they do need to convert it to a victory. It won't be the end of the world if they do lose this round. They did keep all 5 players alive, I believe, with the ace there from Attacker. So, although it wouldn't be ideal, it wouldn't necessarily be double eco.
Bang for Sixer, rather thrown by Sixer for RPK. That'll put him toward the barrels. Continues to look. But not find outside of Boiler. And he'll back off. This time it looks like they'll play a 5-man unit, take toward B. Money's not amazing. The last few rounds have definitely been tighter, including that of a win for Flash in the most previous. So 3 digits if they do lose this, which is why they're leading toward that 5-man execution. They would be sitting on an eco, and Flash would have a chance to at least close this down, best case, to 10-5.
Indeed. 25 seconds. In we go towards that B bomb site. Summer can hear them all scuttling into the bomb site, and once again, they just don't look towards CD spawn. Their timing's a little bit off those smokes, Matt, and it could come back to Horn at 3 versus 3 now. Bomb gets down in a scrappy manner, and K's lighting them up with the AK-47.
Advantage goes back toward Flash, despite Summer being slow and timid and making the mistakes of trying to get the right shot. Attacker manages one more. It's all onto RPK. Successful so far as he takes down Case, but he's low on HP, and Lovey's got the shot. It will be an eco for EnVyUs, and Flash might have bought themselves a bit of a life in this game.
That was an abomination of a B execution. The fact that they don't even have the awareness as to when they threw the smoke grenade, running in with their backs exposed to CT spawn, where all the CT's going to be, allowing K's to get 2 kills from here, no awareness, the flank could be coming in. It's just horrible at times for EnVyUs. This is not a team that looks like they've got former major champions within it. It all falls apart. 10-3, and the money's not great here for EnVyUs. Still a very good half, don't get me wrong. And I know they're going to win this game. I'm not delusional in that sense. It's just like, if I just don't see this team making it to the final round of 16 in its current form, there's just too many holes to be plugged and not enough time to sort them all out. Won't be the force buy from EnVyUs. Deagles, CZs, flashbangs, but I don't think they've necessarily gone all in here. They've left themselves about 2k, as Flash Gaming looking to find 10-5 here.
Okay, sitting well back, waiting for aggression, which there will be, but not, I think, that carelessly, to walk all the way down toward the T-stairs without much information. Group and gather for EnVyUs, and an additional deep smoke, so 2 now have been deployed all the way down Banana. Timer on the play, therefore, for Lovey, but he's hoping to be baited as well, perhaps by Karsa, who sits at the barrels. Eventually he'll grow tired of that. Retreat further back in.
Well, no map control really obtained. They have cleared apartments at least, but it looks like they're heading towards Banana eventually. Problem is, CT's are ready and waiting. Lovey in exposed position though. Might boost his teammate towards that wall position. They'll fall back as the flashbangs come through. Incendiary drop to buy them some time and space, and maybe some frags as well. Scream with a nice shot with the Desert Eagle, takes down Lovey, and that gives them a rifle. They can start to snowball from this point. The rotations will come through from the CT forces, but no smoke deployed with CT smoke just yet. There it is, it comes through, and 6 over, nice shot. And Attacker, I feel like he just goes through the smoke and push he shall. Gets 1 frag, but taken down. 3 versus 2 now. AWP in the hands of Summer. That is not ideal as he misses a shot there. Sixer will try and capitalize, which he will, and it will be a partial buy victory for Team EnVyUs. Flash Gaming drop the ball as we go into round number 15. Their money will be okay. Ks will be on 2K, but the rest of them hovering around $5,000.
So a win from Envy that didn't look likely, and mistake from Flash, because that was their best chance to, again, I mentioned it, get to 10-5. Which, okay, going to the T side on Inferno, based on how well Envy's played against them, may not matter, but at least gives them more optimism. Standard positions XMS toward alt middle to watch Boiler. Happy gets up on the ledge to see about the window. Okay, will hold station at the T stairs. In fact, no contest toward Banana from either side. Carson forced back by just a single nade and a deep smoke with RPK, not willing to chance the win early. Continue to tap away, or try to. The barrel position. Happy seems to have other ideas. Wants back over to his apartments. He's going to go Boiler, and XMS will go apartments, so they'll converge. Lovey's got to be part of this. Lovey, oh, certainly heard XMS need in his hand. Molotov that went in by Happy meant that he couldn't even swing out to try and re-peek. Lovey, good shot on K's, and he'll just get away. That's fair enough. Trade it out, get it back to level footing, go again.
4 versus 3. Summer keeping the dream alive somewhat here. Scream will commit towards the B-bomb site. It should be planted, no problem at all. But there is an interesting boost coming forward. This could actually pay dividends. We'll see. Attacker has to step up here, blocked by the smoke though. He will drop down. Lovey gets the Happy treatment towards top and middle, of course, watching for the flanks. I like this from EnVyUs. This is better. Not rushing the park, waiting for the teammate to come through, ascertaining information. Sixer all has been amazing this one so far. Misses a couple of shots, but nails the last one. 12-3. Very good half on the T side of Inferno.
Very, very good. And even when it looked like it could have gone into peril and they would have lost all their money, they managed to win with pistols, so fair play. And Flash just did not get rolling, could not get any form of success in holding off. To be fair, the one round they held off successfully was Attacker getting an ace from Pit. It
yeah, that was
seemed
nice.
like they were getting enough in Banana to work with at times. We may have an extended halftime based on the fact that I can see Envy with a few headsets off, maybe just relaxing their ears. So I think they'll take the time. Perhaps it was even called by Flash to take it, like you said yesterday. We are on the Valve timeout rules, meaning there's 4 per team in each game. You can use them at any time.
30 seconds each.
30 seconds each. Coach can only talk during those timeouts. And at the half times. So that 2 minutes that they're allowed at halftime does not count as a timeout, and teams can often use it to try and get a little more of a game plan established.
Well, it's going to take a very good game plan map to get back into this one, I'm afraid. They'll start with the pistol, but we'll have a look at some statistics perhaps and see whether we can work out where this one went wrong. It was a high fragging affair indeed for EnVyUs. You can see most of them getting into double digits. It's RPK at 13 and Scream managing to get 11. But here's the matchup I wanted to look at. Sixer versus Attacker. 12 kills for Sixer, Attacker with 13. The difference in the stat there is Attacker died 13 times, Sixer just 5.
And 5 of those kills out of the 13 came in one round, obviously. They finally put some pressure toward the pit. Remember I mentioned they were also smoking off the apartments and then jumping out and avoiding it altogether early on. So, yeah, a bit one-sided. Happy leads the way with 19 and 7.
So that timeout halftime will be coming to an end in a minute.
Attacker has 2 aces now. Is he the only one with an ace
In
the entire tournament so far?
no,
I was thinking about this.
Fancy Eco aces as well.
I was trying to remember any, and I couldn't. I'm sure there has been. You're probably right. At this point, you'd expect well, not quite a few, but a few to have happened. I just couldn't bring them to mind last night when I was laying in bed.
Is that what you do when you get in bed? Just think about who got
Counter-Strike.
the aces? How old is everyone?
That's right.
Who's the youngest? Who's the oldest? Who is? I have to know.
I did all the math.
Yeah.
RPK, oddly enough, is not one of the oldest. Despite
Oh, he
being
must be
around
getting
for
on.
so long.
He's probably a year younger than me, I think.
He is
Yeah.
December 8th, 1989.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, I knew that off the top of my head.
Yeah. He looks like one of the old boys, but he's actually, he's 28. He's been around a while, though. If you're not aware, but like you might be a new viewer to CSGO, he was actually considered the best player of all time in Counter-Strike Source.
I thought you were, Henry.
Well, it's between me and him. I give it to him, though. We did go toe-to-toe many times. But the second half was live, Matthew, so I don't have to go
Humble
into
as always,
my
Henry.
haunting past. As we look at the pistol now, there will be 4 sets of armor for Flash Gaming, K's with the CZ75, and the smoke grenade. CZ cost $500, smoke 300. You do the maths. As that costs 800. There you go, kind of for you.
Carson has started off by being very aggressive. Goes almost alone, but he's got Lovey over his shoulder.
No.
Kill they push down RPK. Gets taken out. Lovey with that shot as he was watching. He realized there was noise. A trampling elephant heading his direction and takes him down quickly. Summer, therefore, has access to the arch. Will they wrap or not? Because they've got library. They've got pretty much everything. Happy's the only one at A. And he's trying to stay quiet and undetected. I think he just barely had the timing right to get past where Attacker walked out the stairwell behind him. Graveyard spotted Lovey. Double peek. Damage done. Case couldn't quite do all of the damage required, but Attacker awkwardly gets in behind Happy. He'll get the kill, down to 32. Sixers the last alive, and he'll just get chipped away at by Summer. And it's 12-4, so Flash at least pick up the pistol.
They do. That's going to be the beginning of this very difficult journey here. I assume there'll be a force buy from Team EnVyUs. There's the old Counter-Strike. I think that's the 1.5 menu we had there. As you can see, it's a bit of an Easter egg valve put into the game in the little cupboard as you walk past.
I was right. Someone just tweeted me showing me the HLTV stats. Attacker's the only player with an ace so far.
The entire, like, any
has
sort of
2.
place. Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
And they're 0-2.
Just to confirm, that's an ace in 1 round, correct?
An ace in 1 round. Yes, that is correct. Well, I'll let Andrews check on that and get back to you.
Perfect. Well, Bobby gets the first frag, takes down XMS. Like I said, it's likely they force buy here, which they have. CZ will come out. Deagles as well. And it looks like it's going to be a Flash Gaming round unless this push towards middle with the flashbang in the hands of Sixer is successful. He'll flash momentarily. His teammates will all strike at the very same time. Doesn't actually come through just yet. Sixer still holds on to it. Scream jumping the gun a little bit there. There's the flashbang. Try and get the pick towards the underpass. Work out for them. Nice work by Summer. Happy, the last remaining player now. Head armor and the CZ. Summer will collect the bomb. It's Summer, isn't it? He was actually Fancy One. He rebranded.
That is completely correct.
Why would you do that? Do you know why?
I cannot answer that question.
It's not even like a bad.
He's allowed to change it too because he didn't previously have stickers. That sticks now. That's why Device couldn't switch to Deva because he already had
you're right.
Device registered through the Valve official.
So he thought, well, it's time to rebrand. What better time to do it
Then in the winter.
In the major, like the first time you got your sticker in the game. I'm just gonna change my name. I'm gonna be sticking with it.
I guess if you're gonna do it though, if you were thinking about it before, that is when you have to do it.
Sure. Well, Force Buy doesn't work out for Team EnVyUs here. They'll be full eco. It was 12-3.5. It's looking very likely to be 12-6 now. Flash not out over just yet. You never know, Matt. EnVyUs have been playing some catastrophic Counter-Strike this tournament, so maybe it could all fall apart. It's a big maybe, but you never know.
Ooh, okay, so that's during freeze time. So that's next round. Free vote for a timeout.
That is not how you call for timeouts.
Typically not.
They've used the actual like the matchmaking system there instead of like
the console commands.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
chat. Subsequent console commands.
Yeah, that shouldn't be out here.
So wrap to a stack, and they've realized and killed them all. Fair enough, with all 5 staying alive. But Palm was just going to A now. That could have been costly. But okay, so it was a vote because it's a technical pause.
Okay, well there we go.
So get it done early. Let the admins see it. fix it up quite quickly. Shouldn't be too long. So we take a look at RPK centered on your screen, or at least was. Remember, he was a little bit malade, I think they say, sick.
Yes.
In this tournament. I don't mean that in a good way.
No, you could see him like resting his eyes and stuff as we got into the earlier rounds. But Matthew, we've got a bit of a treat coming up. You actually mentioned
yeah, exactly.
The guy who's the only player in the tournament so far to have aces, which is 5 kills in 1 round. It's Attacker, and we can look back at some of those glorious moments right now.
So the first was in their game yesterday against QBF. We just saw a moment ago playing against FaZe.
1 by 1, of course. On
the same map as well. Opposite side of that map, though, and it was early enough in the round, so they've actually swapped him in that particular round from A to B, because that was on the opening asset of their default, and they're both quite quick and glamorous with an M4.
Actually, lovely stuff there. Open Inferno.
It's interesting that a lot of the times you see individual highlights, it comes from the team that loses. And the reason being typically is obviously they're relying on the individual performances because they're losing the team game. So their potential to go 0-3, 0-2 right now, I won't say it's done. It's not an open and shut case at 12-6. But he's the one with the aces.
Yeah, well, have you ever had an ace in Counter-Strike map?
Once in matchmaking. I think I was like Gold Nova.
Nice.
Pretty good. No, I don't know what rank it was. It was a 1v5 ace, actually. I've had a few, but that was the one I remember.
Well, Matthew, let's have a look at the tournament as its overall placements. You can see this is the Swiss format. As you can see right now, the guys with 2-0, they're doing very well. They need one more win to guarantee them a place in the round of 16. Then we go down to the one-on-ones. Obviously, FaZe winning the game. They're the first team to get 2-1. They got the Liquid, Na'Vi, Space Soldiers, Sprout Misfits, and Renegade. Big names there. A lot of upset potential with the likes of Space Soldiers in there. And we'll see whether they can step up today. I think Space Soldiers are playing against Misfits. That's going to be, I think for me, that's going to be the game of the day. I think that's going to be fantastic.
That was the toughest one for me to call today in our prediction.
Yeah, me too. I went for Misfits purely because I think like Sean, he'll know how to dissect that kind of team. Sure, they've got a lot of firepower, but he'll be like completely out strategizing, I think.
Well, this is the order of the affair today. So QBF and FaZe already done. As you mentioned, FaZe picked up the win in that one quite convincingly. Currently, we're in the middle. We'll get back to it momentarily of the Flash EnVy game. Then it's Misfits Space Soldiers. That exact game comes up next. So I wouldn't want to miss that. It's not to see who goes through or who goes home, but I think it's very important that both of those teams being underdogs get to the upper side of the bracket. Then we move on a little bit later on. Vega G2, I went toward G2 today, but I had a thought, if Vega played Cloud9, that might be difficult for Cloud9 to manage.
Vega is obviously sponsored by Jason O'Toole.
Yes,
he's gone for them again today. He thinks he can do it. He just wants to watch the world burn at this point, I think.
Well, sharks are also hairless creatures, so I can understand why he would endorse such a team. I think that, yeah, look, they're doing very well in this qualifier. They played the last major in Krakow, so hey, maybe they get through again. Against G2, though, the way Sharks played yesterday, I can't picture it. Renegades Liquid, another tough game to call. I went Renegades on that one.
I went Renegades as well, purely because I do think Team Liquid overall are a better team, but obviously with Zeus here, they have had, I think they got a couple of teams on the ropes, so right down to 16-14 at the very opening of the tournament. But then we move on to Flipside versus Avantgarde. What do you think about that?
Well, the interesting thing is Flipside is known to always make the major. The one time that they're in the qualifier at 0-2, they're actually in the major because Valve just said, you know what, we can't have Flipside not there. Let's change everything and call it a major now. So they're still here no matter what, but they could have potential. First time ever this early on in sort of a major stage, if you will, even though it, again, is by formality still counts, that they could go out. I think Avantgarde actually has a chance in that. Flipside has been completely uninspiring to me.
They've lost Electronic and now have Seized, and Seized is probably in the worst form of his entire career towards the tail end of Na'Vi. I don't feel like he's going to be the player that gets him through the major this time. We'll find out, though, as we get back into the game, I think.
Just to touch on the last one, too, Mouse Sports, red hot after the end of the year. Couple of finals, a win in Mykonos. ECS, obviously, up against FaZe in the final. It was a good game as well. But Cloud9, I edge toward them even with that form. It's going to be a close game either way. That could go back and forth. Attacker versus Scream this time. So Attacker now a few more rounds under his belt than what we showed you at halftime with 14 kills. Scream just behind on 12. But the headshot percentage does lean towards Scream, not surprisingly.
Yeah, it always will, won't it? Well, Matthew, I feel like the technical issues are just being sorted out. So instead of us rambling on and making bad dad jokes before you start, I think I'm going to throw it to a break just so we can sort everything out, and we'll be back with the game between Flash Gaming and EnVyUs very shortly.
things seem to be sorted, so we will get back underway. The lead doubled that. EnVy 12, 6 only for Flash, but they're on the T side and have won the pistol. This will be their first test heading into that of the first gun round.
Absolutely, Matthew. They've gone for a bit of a bonus round here. At this point in the game, I wouldn't be aiming to save money. I'm just trying to win the round. You might want to upgrade maybe even one of those Mac 10s. A bit more firepower available. Lose the round, you're 13-6 down, and EnVyUs will be holding off a very fast approach here. Lavi coming in that Mac 10. Nothing to do about that. Sixer gets the double, runs out of bullets, so that's the plight of the M4A1S. You do run out very quickly of the old ammunition, as it will be a 4 versus 3 now. Case Summer and Attacker trying to do what they can. Happy, of course. It's fragged there, both players waiting for him. 3 on 3. We did say, Matt, there's still a chance EnVyUs can lose this one, especially when the pistol goes against him. But RPK's in such a fantastic position here. See him dying. All right, then. Well, it's going to be a 3 versus 2. Screaming XMS in the retake. Of course, XMS has got an MP9. Why not?
Why not? This will be problematic for them at this point in time as well. Kit for XMS. He's got problems trying to even get through with armor penetration. Not even applicable in that gun. I mean, ultimately not, let's be fair. And they can take it down easily. So 7 rounds now for Flash. I'm not going to get my hopes up on a comeback because I don't like to get excited too soon, but this is 5 rounds between them. They get double digits, it's game on. And a chance to get one more as well with no money left over.
I would feel kind of empty inside if EnVyUs went out in this sort of fashion. 12-3 victory at half. And if it went down like this, like, I'm not sure we'd see these players again. But here we go then. They will be on pretty much full EK here. They get some upgraded pistols. They definitely have the skill to win these sort of rounds. No armor, but Deagle CZs, it can be enough. Scream feeling the heat there somewhat. He will find the first frag. He might even get a double here. Summer, sure he doesn't. It will be 4 versus 4 now. RPK down to 32 points of health as Summer tags him up as well. And we'll get into the 1:30 sector of the round. They have full banana control, spamming towards Coffins, hoping that he will get a chance, and he will, but RPK strikes and takes him down. This looks like it could be a little bit dangerous now for Flash Gaming.
Ace, good shot. He's getting reloaded quickly and gets caught off.
Come on. You know the walls there, son.
He didn't need, well, yeah, I don't think he needed to reload either. He could have at least kept ammunition in his gun until he was in safety if he did have to fight. Attacker and Karsa. Attacker continuing to be sharp. Another kill. Gets it to a 2-2. And gets tons of time to plant the bomb as Happy's already made his way through Arch and RPK is just behind.
Good smoke. That should win the round because now they're committed. They either have to go for the long con through the apartments, and the fact they have no kit means they pretty much have to go towards a core position. Now, nice boost though. I do like that. RPK might be able to find 1 kill here, but Happy's making a lot of noise. RPK jumps up towards the quad. Time ticking away now. They need to find kills. I think the saving the rifles is to be the best bet. It might not be the most sexy way to play the round, but probably the most efficient.
Karsa in the pits. That's the deal with both angles. Happy's got him against the wall, but RPK's nowhere nearby.
Definitely not worth it. They've got plenty of money on the T side. Why is he losing that AK-47? You can't buy that. We talked about that earlier. You can't buy the AK on the CT side. And the fact he's even challenging that is blowing my mind.
Well, 12-8 in, I guess, expected fashion, despite that it did go reasonably close, but they couldn't get all the guns down. And like you said, there's plenty of money, so there's not really any need to lose your own in doing so. It's not worth it. We know Envy as well. We said it yesterday. They're not great with the money game. They're forcing all the time when they shouldn't. Giving away guns in this situation. Best economical team. But RPK will start off toward the apartment, and this time they will have weapons to work with. Sixer on the AWPKs with one of his own. T-side getting slightly more aggressive up toward the top of alt middle. Lovey's got to be careful. Good shot. Sixer, no need to peek that. No flash even.
That's bizarre. He goes around the corner of the AWP blind. No flash, no Molotov at the bottom, nothing. Just wanting to take the challenge. And that's got to be one of the weirdest challenges I've seen in quite a while. If you normally want to do that, you don't need to be flashed or Molotov in the bottom, making the terrorists uncomfortable. You can see, really simple kill there for Lovey. This could still fall apart. It's actually 5-0 now in the second half. Oh, Happy picks up the AWP. He's very proficient with the weapon, so should be recovered here. Lovey holds by the broken wall. That can be spammed. If Happy went for a speculative shot there, probably takes him down. But this could be holding the corner right now, hoping to get 1 kill and fall back. Guaranteed that? Maybe not. Case takes him down.
Calm down, Envy. Let's not get too eager. Flash is apparently in this game all of a sudden.
Summer's got the rotations, well, they have to save him. They're not even going, they're not even challenging the B-bomb side. This is looking like it could fall apart. I'm looking over there right now. The look on their faces is they're worried.
Well, this is when, as well, they started to crumble, because yesterday when they got worried, they were sloppy on cash.
Now they're losing all the weaponry as well. This is shocking.
And XMS will try and get away, but he's got people on either side of him. I can't even picture him winning this M4 into the next round.
Why is Sixer challenging that by himself? It defies sense.
I think it was a flash just before we swapped over to the perspective, but either way, why is he missing the timing? Like
yeah,
that's not the thrower of the flash's fault. Sixer's the one behind the wall in that case that can easily peek off of the flash, not the other way around. It wasn't like he was forced to peek based on a trade or anything along those lines. He just, yeah, very, very bizarre situation. XMS will get at least attacker down as well as a kill just before, but at this point they're in vain. He does keep the M4 for it, so I guess there's some merit, but the round gone.
This is the pick.
So there's the flash.
Yeah.
Okay, so the flash actually caught Sixer as well, but he doesn't need to peek in the back of it. If he's caught by it, why bother? Write it off. It's already messed up.
That was quite nice from Cade. He did like a little crouch and baited out the shot and then just took down Happy. Here's the scores for you. We'll have a look at the very top fraggers. It's Summer with 21 kills. The top of the charts for EnVyUs is Happy with 20. The very bottom will be XMS with 11. The bottom of Flash Gaming, it's Casa with 5 to 14.
EnVyUs got problems now. Back on pistols with the exception of the one gun carried over. XMS the one with, they're not surprising that they'll utilize a timeout now. So XMS on your left, Sixer in the middle.
Are you worried at this point now?
I'm getting concerned, if I'm completely honest. I mean, it was the CT side on Cash that blew my mind as well, because they don't work off each other. Yesterday on Cash, they were playing in the middle of the site, almost killing each other half the time, tripping over flashes and molotovs, no cohesion at all on the defensive side. And the same thing here. Sixer goes out, mistiming a flash, gets taken down immediately.
12 to 9, and presumably 12 to 10, and that's when the sweat starts to ensue. Double digits, and they haven't posted a single CT round as of yet. These are some of the biggest names in CSGO, up against the weakest team in the tournament, who were brought in last minute to replace Tyloo Gaming. Harvey Ketchum gets his frag, which he does. There's another chance to win this one. That's a much better flashbang. That's what we want to see. That's the cohesion you need to make that kind of pick that they didn't have before with the weaponry. 5 on 3. They've managed to at least get something positive going in their favor. 55 seconds remaining, though. You've got to win this round now, Envy. This is on a silver platter for you. RPK with the AK-47. XMS burning alive there, but stays on this for now. 40 seconds remaining, and I don't see how Flash get into this one. In terms of utility, they've got smokes and flashbangs, but no map control whatsoever. Actually, all the way back in T-spawn right now. What's the play here? They're leaving the bomb at B, and I think they're looking for any players pushing second, middle, apartments, and will send Summer up towards middle, I believe. He's going in the arch position. He's just trying to find frags, making a lot of noise. Happy almost certainly kills him. Maybe not. Here we go then. And this could be the beginning of the end of the round. It's going to be one player defending, and it will be a victory for EnVyUs. And fist bumps come through. Yeah, much needed.
So it gets them 3 away, 13. The end is in sight. Hasn't been comfortable getting there. The money's still great for Flash as well, which means they actually have a chance to send Envy back onto pistols quite quickly. There's money built up, mind you, for RPK. He's done well in this situation.
They want a partial buy there, right? So they're going to have a lot of money to work with, the upgraded AK-47. So they won't be in the worst position in the world if they lose this round. That would be the best.
Yeah, both teams actually would be in similar situations. If Flash lose this, it would take one more round to knock them down completely, but it would also mean that we could get to 15 at that point. Maybe on the eco. In doing so. Extremely important round for Flash. They want to make this comeback a reality. Lovey will work together with Carcer to try and take over the apartments. Attacker's already cleared from Boiler. Lovey will now take over the stairs instead from him. So they want to overcommit at this point in time to the A side. XMS is inside of the A with RPK at pits. So they've got a crossfire set to watch quad side Scream there as well. Scream waiting behind the pillar, hoping not to be seen. This time gonna flash. He's exposed himself all too easily. XMS does at least get the trade, but another misthrown flash from RPK. Thankfully, XMS gets his vision back in time, and Happy will strike when they least expect it. Summer responds, but not for long. Sixers got him down, and RPK's got the round.
That should be it now. Hopefully, EnVyUs have done enough to close this game out 14-9. Sixer and RPK will survive there. Good work from the pit. Their money's in a good position, but they haven't broken Flash down just yet. 14 rounds, 2 more will do it. AK-47's come out, and K's with the AWP. They have played very well on the T side after getting battered 12-3 in the first half. EnVyUs puts Sixer on the AWP once again. Have a look at the initial setup here. Scream heads towards the top of middle. Four in hand this time. Pushes out. Nades come in. Just to push those T's back, and that could be K's burning there. The flames just about avoid him.
He gets lucky. Usually that's going to spread that extra little distance. In a world of trouble, he just barely gets out of the vision of Sixer. Fades through the smoke. First chance for Flash. They lose this, like I said, it's 15 for EnVyUs, and no money for them to work with. It would be third round loss bonus, so a bomb plant could negate that, but even then it's desperate.
Carson smoking towards the arch side there. Sixer with the first frag, homing in on match point here. Just to reiterate, whoever loses this map is going home. Scream got players in front of him, good flashbangs used, and Lovey on the pallet right now, and Scream surely goes down, but he actually manages to transfer the attack and find almost 3 kills. 3 versus 2 now. We have 1 player towards the pit, and Happy in the garbage position, top of middle. This is pretty much for the game. If EnVyUs do this, there'll be no money left on the Flash gaming side. Happy smoked out of position, spams some bullets and changes. Falls back to the defensive line of the arch.
Sixer behind barrels on an AWP with clear vision down Banana. Double peek, they want to trade. How does he not? I thought he hit that. Summer just wrecks him cleanly, and now that's going to open up B site. Rotation desperately in play from Happy, but he's not quite in position. The smoke's down as well.
Ooh, good.
Does
well
good
read.
damage.
Good Lord.
That does a lot more damage than I thought. I thought he'd get away with about 50 or just above, but he gets 36 HP, and that gives a big opportunity to Envy. 2 Molotovs, as you point out, for both Summer and Attacker to work with.
Absolutely. So they just want to try and stay alive, delay things as long as possible. Drop a Molotov maybe about now, I would say, and see if they can solve them a bay here. Good shot by Attacker. Happy left in a 2 versus 1. Definitely get that Molotov down. Now it might not even matter. Attacker keeps the dream alive after losing those first big kills towards the top of middle. It's all down to Sixer once again, mate. Misses a really vital shot in the up-close position at the barrels of Banana.
Just want to point out, Summer and Attacker have 24 and 23. They lead the way over everyone, but they're making up for a bit of dead weight. Karsa only has 6 kills in this whole game.
Very quiet team. They're right in front of us, and we don't hear any sort of shouts when they win around. It's a very quiet affair. It's focused on winning the game, which they still can do. It's an eco for Team EnVyUs.
So we are far from done. You're right, we've heard much more from EnVyUs, who are on the far side of the room.
They've just got to keep their morale up at this point, haven't they? So their money should be okay. So they take an eco here just to make sure they hedge their bets. They're going to have about 3K, some even 5K on RPK. They just want to make sure they have a full buy here. No first game.
I'll point out that in the first half, when Envy was forced onto an eco and won the round to make it 11-3 and then 12-3, as opposed to potentially going down 10-5, that could be the difference in this game. So you take those 2 rounds away, you win the anti-eco, and we're 12-12. Based on math, I know it's all hypothetical, but just to give you an example of how an early round can come back to haunt you. Slow start for Flash, but they're taking advantage now. Attacker already close to the B site, will be the first to go in. Lovey's just behind, not exactly trade potential towards Scream. A great shot on the Deagle. RPK is going to be a pest as well towards Karsa. Karsa's got to get those kills. We just pointed out he's been struggling to do so. To lose that battle against a CZ at that range as well, that's a massive problem, because now it's the advantage to Envy, but K's new Screamers in the site will run him down.
Oh, open plant. That's brave. RPK had a slight chance to deny the plant, but now a 2-on-2. Sixer Had some difficult rounds in this game so far, but looking for match point. The spray down comes towards new boxes. He's do a ton of damage. AK's ready the AWP, can't hit the shot. Goes down at 34. Can Sixer do this? Happy joining him now. Good job, 1 versus 1. Happy has to be the savior, but he can't do it, man. Once again, it gets even more uncomfortable. 1 versus 1 to find match point. They can't do it, but EnVyUs still with their heads held high. They go for the fist bumps. They know that was an eco, and they made things difficult. If they can just win one of these rounds, they'll fully break Flash Gaming, and they'll be on match point. One more to guarantee overtime would be just a sigh of relief at this point.
I'm wondering what's on the ground right now in T-Spawn as well, because their money has been whittled down. Okay, so AKs have just been thrown over. Summer needs to buy armor, please don't forget. Sitting with 3,300, but hasn't done that yet. Why do I have the feeling he's going to?
It's got one of those feelings.
Oh, man, please buy the armor. Summer? All right, we're in a pause, so perhaps he'll do it immediately after. He just get it off in time. They threw the AKs around that I hadn't seen him buy it yet. I was getting a little worried, but
he still hasn't. You can buy in freeze time. So, I mean pause time. 3,300 residual. If he forgets to buy armor mat, this will be one for the history books.
He hasn't bought nades or anything though, so I think
so
he'll probably remember. If he bought nades and didn't have the armor, then I would be like, whoa, okay, he just forgot entirely.
Whoa, now. It's getting close. He still hasn't bought anything.
So Sixer,
last second.
So Sixer's gone to the AWP again. Again, I've got to point it out, losing that shot in middle to do that, and it's Lobby left on a Mac-10. Karsa as well, just on the Galil. So better weaponry for Envy to work with. As you mentioned, they were sitting back on the partial buy last round and took well advantage of it by breaking down the economy flash. It's Karsa to hold off boiler window. Keynes continues to get toward the top of alt mid with the AWP. It's not normally a place you see it early in the round for the T side. HP. Gets away with it. 1 HP and Scream goes looking. Karsa, about time, steps up, takes down Scream as well. He'll upgrade to an M4, and they've got 2 kills. Make that 3 kills. What is more than Envy? Sixer's gone over at B. The defense are panicking. They're entirely split. One on either site. Bomb's going to head to B.
Desperate spray there from Happy. Down he goes, man. This is falling apart. They had Mac-10s and Galils into this round, and Flash Gaming completely mopped the floor of Team EnVyUs. Summer with the final kill there. Surely this isn't happening. I can't believe it. That's going to be 3rd stage loss bonus. Another eco for Team EnVyUs here. Looking down the barrel of 13 to 14. Oh my goodness.
How do you fall apart from a 12-3 T-side half on Inferno? As you say, that would be the most spectacular way to get knocked out of this event. And Flash, the team that wasn't even supposed to be here, the one to do it as well. Done yet. Pistols only for Envy. Just needs to continue to be disciplined and win the duels. Attacker to be the one naturally to go on the attack. Not just saying that for the pun, because he's been remarkable in this half. Summer as well. So Happy with a deagle. We've seen him in this position before with a deagle. We know what he's capable of. Has to go for the free fire on the corner. We can't find it. Attacker's well aware that he's there, but wants to slip in and see what else is going on the B side. And it is a bit of a stack. 3 players with Orange is 1 and Orange is 2 occupied. In fact, Orange is 1 stacked, excuse me, as XMS is also in that corner. Summer's got to be careful. Attacker finds the first kill, but doesn't know that they still have XMS in the corner. They're trying to find him. Summer luckily gets to him, but Happy does find one. That's the bomb. Oh, he tags up Summer as well. 14 HP. This is far from done.
Absolutely. 3 versus 3, and Flash Gaming are floundering. 50 seconds remaining. RPK dodging the bullets there. It looks like Sixer might get one. It's actually going to be Happy. Now it's the 2 versus 1. Karsa rotating in, hits the shot. 1 versus 1 with the in-game leader once again. Happy makes his way towards the bomb site. Tucks himself in, finds the AK-47. Karsa seems to know where he could be. Can he find the killing blow? He can! 13 to 14. My goodness.
Talk about a time to step up for Karsa.
Yeah, that's his 9th kill of the game.
He's gotten 2 that round, 1 the previous. He was on 6 until recently, well behind everybody else, but what a clutch. A 2 versus 1, and there you go. EnVyUs led 12-3 at half. They get denied map point for the 2nd time. It was a 1v1 before, this time at 2v1, and they still can't close it. And Flash has full control. Guns back for Envy.
They can't get tilted there. They need to keep their heads in the game. They still have the lead, but good lord, there's been some close rounds here. This is it now. We go into the very last stages. Round number 28. It was 12-3 at half. How has this gone down? the weakest team in the tournament that shouldn't even be here. They brought in last minute to replace Tyloo.
Lovey got caught that time. He sat in the corner a few times and got away with it, but this time it spread far enough and the smoke didn't extinguish it right away, so he's back, but he's certainly limping. Kays, again, loves this position. Don't know that he's even gotten a kill from it early on, if I'm honest, but he certainly likes to get there in case they go aggressive in top mid. For now, the aggression will resume on Banana. Send Lovey first, 37. Get the information off of him at the very least.
Well. Surely it doesn't go to 14-14. I don't think my heart could handle it. 6 AWP, that really hasn't been doing much in the second half.
But aggressive position, and Happy has the option to drop off the flower pot boost. If he can bait them in with one shot, they can pull them back. They go for the smoke instead. He's going to play passive deep in the site with an op at emo.
So Kays waits for 3 or 4 seconds there, pulls the trigger towards CT spawn, hoping the AWP comes and investigates. That doesn't happen. Now looking towards that boost. Similar sort of story. 30 seconds remaining. This will be the first wall of smokes I'd imagine towards the B bomb site. Smoking towards coffins. CT spawn. Molotovs in. Doesn't know they have the Molotovs. This could be a very basic play here. They're going to check boost surely. Happy now ready and waiting. Summer, is he sneaking through?
Happy, I think, heard him, or maybe just spotted him. He's still got the position, though. Bomb goes down. Sixer was a problem. They went tunnel vision toward him, and it's given Scream a chance on the flank. XNS there as well. All to attacker. Everyone is bleeding.
9 seconds.
And 9 seconds is a problem. They're backing off, and they know it. Bomb's not going to be planted. Attacker needs to get both kills. As soon as he even gets the one, the second player, Scream, would fall back, but it is map point finally for Envy. 15-13. Flash is not done. They've got money enough for guns.
Needs both rounds here to force overtime. Pressure starting to mount. 25 kills for Happy Casa. 19 deaths as well. He did manage to take down Happy in that 1 versus 1. And we'll see if they can do this. We get to overtime. We've definitely got one of the most interesting games of the tournament so far. I still feel like EnVyUs is going to do this before it gets to overtime. It hasn't been their best game. It's still not looking promising. They make it to the round of 16, but they should still do this. I say that with very bated breath. If they lose this round map, they'll actually be fully reset. This round pretty much decides if it goes to overtime. They'll have nothing to work with in round number 30.
What a game. What a comeback. I wrote Flash off after the first half. I'm not going to lie to you.
12-3.
CT sides for EnVyUs have shockingly been
woeful.
No problem, yeah, absolutely. Good word for it. RPK, just the FAMAS. Summer yet to buy, but has 4,300. Could easily jump in on this with an AK.
Just to know as well, where's Screamy in this tournament? Just nothing.
I think he's sat over there, but
well, yeah, he
don't know if he's on the right server.
Yeah, it's remarkable what a fall from grace he's had. 19 kills total, 22 deaths. But still looking to close things out, AK in hand.
He's the second highest fragger, but it's the impact of the frags that's lacking.
It's just like, against Flash Gaming, he should be ravishing this sort of opponent. He should be absolutely bullying them, knocking them out of the server. 16-2. Nothing. This is such a weak EnVyUs.
Correction. I see RPK at 21, but you get the point. You're right. He's certainly not the same dominance you would expect. Happy Sixer. They'll play B. Again, they'll play it with inside of the site. That worked for them last time.
Look how tentative EnVyUs are. They've lost that flair. They know if this round goes against them.
This is going to be A as well. Flash has gone B so many times that it's finally gotten shut down. They're going to try and hit A hard. Problem is they've smoked off the arch. Quad Flash timing is good, but Scream's not got position. He gets there now. No trade potential, and when they do go, Scream finally steps up. He wants Attacker as well, but he'll go down. An Attacker with 2 equally as good and 2 HP, mind you. But it's just RPK inside of Pit.
Oh, he is alone as well. The doors have been locked, the smokes have been deployed. Summer, if he hits this shot, it could be round done. RPK got a lot of pressure on his shoulder. The flash is great. RPK steps up. That should be it. 3 versus 1. Attacker can't do it. And finally, EnVyUs post a victory here. It's not the cleanest, it's not the best, it's not impressive, but they get it done just about there. It looked like it was going to go overtime for a second.
And resilience to Flash, I certainly agree. I thought we were going to overtime. Resilience to them, the team that's here, not a full lineup, taking over from Tyloo, who couldn't make it, nearly putting EnVyUs out of the tournament. They hold on, only just. Good flash from Happy in the last round to get RPK out of Pit in position to find the final 2, well, 2 essential kills. Happy just mopped it up at that point, but close game. Flash knows what could have been, especially if they had perhaps a better first half. Certainly winning the anti-eco would have helped. With that, we're going to take a break. It's Flash Gaming that depart first. EnVy survive. We'll see you in a bit. So Attacker is absolutely dominating. Finally inside of the pit, they get something working. Remember, they weren't playing there. Attacker with yet another ace, his second in the event.
Desperate spray there from Happy. Down he goes, man. This is falling apart. They had Mac 10s and Galils into this round, and Flash Gaming completely mopped the floor of Team EnVyUs. Summer with the final kill there. Surely this isn't happening. Seven, Carcer seems to know where he could be. Can he find the killing blow? He can! 13 to 14. My
Talk
goodness.
about a time to step up for Carcer.
If he hits this shot, it could be round done. RPK got a lot of pressure on his shoulder. The flash is great. RPK steps up. That should be it. 3 versus 1. Attacker can't do it. And finally, EnVyUs post a victory here.
All right, EnVyUs fans, you can look now. Okay. Wow, what a game. We've got Yanko on the desk. Dan's joining us. Look, I'm just going to do it out. I mean, like, commiserations to Flash. Obviously, the takeaway story is that Flash are out.
Not the moment too soon.
Well, I mean, you know, they've actually got a very good number of rounds against very good caliber opposition. I think there's lots of positives there for Flash, honestly, to take away from it. A lot less so, in my opinion, of EnVyUs. I think they're prolonging their tournament agony. Let's be clear, coming into this event, a lot of people thought Flash was the worst team here. EnVyUs have had to go away, anti-strat that team, which they've done overnight, and then they've had to rely on the CZs in those eco rounds to get through and beat that team. I think EnVyUs have all sorts of problems. This is an embarrassing win, frankly.
I agree. It's an embarrassing performance from EnVyUs. Not just, you know, the result that it was close, but some of the decisions, some of the plays that they've been making individually, especially in that second half, it looked like the players don't even care. Just, you know, dry peeking when an opposing operator is holding the angle. No team play, nothing. It was just horrible to watch, to be honest. And you wonder, like, how can a team melt down so much over the course of a tournament when you're not even out yet, right?
Yeah.
EnVyUs have been a good team this fall. They qualified for a couple of lands. They've had some good games, good appearances, and so forth. So they're not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. But here it just looks like they've given up.
Yeah, and Dan, your YouTube channel is full of positivity. You got anything positive to say about EnVyUs?
No.
I think it's like
That's the lie.
Towards the very end of the game, they took a timeout, and the last 2 rounds that EnVyUs win is when they actually started to play Counter-Strike. You could see when it was 14-13, at 40 seconds left, they actually clear mids, they pop flash in, do it as a team, they see that there's no one there, and then they flank Flash, who was grouping up with the whole team towards B to execute. Last round is also like a similar thing. They finally play as a team. You could see the pop flash coming in from Happy for RPK from Pit. Everyone's fully blind. He gets the easy 2 kills, and that closes out the game. So that was like the only moments towards the very, very end of the game that you could say, this is how it actually looks to play Counter-Strike.
Some thoughts from you?
And that's the thing, is that obviously when we look at this game, you take Flash, and obviously Flash are not in the optimal situation as far as their lineup is concerned, and sort of all the issues going on there. So we can't really take too much away from them. It's sort of just a showcase of what they can do in this suboptimal situation. So it is, unfortunately, the storyline is all about EnVyUs, and I think it's like the 3rd or 4th time I'm ready to give up on them again, because it feels like there's so many points where there's a lot of comedy, there's a lot of tragedy that makes sense to watch them, but like I said, there's too few redeemers when it comes to playing Counter-Strike, and there is just too much of an issue in the team to make scenario, and it's just to change. I just feel bad for RPK because even off point
It seems to be under the weather as well a little bit. I don't know if he's sick or anything. Had to take the halftime break, but understandably so.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Let's look at the Flash Gaming. It's confirmed they are out of the major, but thanks very much for coming to talk about it. I think they did themselves proud under the circumstances. And EnVyUs go along QB fire. So we'll start that game, and we'll take a look ahead to the next one. It is me, Misfits and Space Soldiers. And we'll get this mix a little here today.
Sean, after a great win against Flipside, it did not go as well as G2 had a pretty dominant game on Cobble. But G2 obviously being the tougher opponent. We didn't see the same Misfits as we saw in 1, so can you walk us through that game?
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit weird. So we didn't expect the Vita to go the way it did. We thought it'd be between overpass, and that's what I prepped on. I prepped on 2 maps specifically. So even though Cash was a possibility, we had to like try to flaunt our cobblestone against them without really any knowledge of how they play. Even so, I think we played all right. Shox won something ridiculous, like 5 clutches. That match, even despite the score being so lopsided, he still won 5 clutches. So we have to play the late rounds a little bit better, obviously. Should be easier today, given the map. Probably going to be a little bit different, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, we'll
Well, I know that all teams process losses differently, but do you feel that the loss from yesterday has affected the team's confidence at the major or no?
Oh, no, not at all. So I think that's one thing that we all did really well is once we lost, you know, we talked it through, like, maybe like literally 5 seconds, people being like, he did about this round, that round, and then it was over, and it was like, okay, we're 1-1, and we're still in this.
Well, now you're going to be going up against the Space Soldiers and being a great player. Do you feel that your team has an edge at all because of their lack of LAN experience?
Yeah, I think so. So I think they have a little bit of a lack of experience, like you said, kind of similar to us, but I also think map a little bit better than theirs when I was looking at them before this match. So I'm looking forward to how the veto goes because they really only play like 3 maps, so it'll be interesting to see like where they go with it.
Well, guys, have a better day. Good luck.
Thank you.
So there you have it, Sean Gez. You can always back him to do his homework. And Yanko, I think this Misfits team here, they'd be slight favourites, right?
Yeah, because they performed probably at the Pro League finals over in Denmark, but it was very strange hearing from Sean in that interview. You know, okay, missing map veto, but even when he had the map in the pool, he still decided to veto Cash Leap. Cobblestone Overpass turns out to have been a big mistake, and I think that's the story of Misfits at this tournament so far. It's been the maps. First game against Flipside, they got a great map for them, not a very good map for Flipside. Great win, and then against G2 it was the opposite, and they had a crushing loss. Obviously G2 also a much stronger squad, so it seems like that the map veto at the moment is very, very important for Misfits here.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the game when we really start to answer some of Misfits down, because Misfits are inexperienced international events, whereas, you know, sure, the same to the Misfits, I think they've got a slight edge in terms of experience, honestly, out of the franchise.
Yeah, so for me, this is interesting because I predicted a Misfits to be able to use a gamble, but it is actually predicated on the best of one, and if Sean Guest actually has the preparation on the maps, he can be pitching on this one because of the way that he's able to understand call, and that's team. So we see an interview, it's like, oh, I've been okay, that makes a lot more sense to make sense. And the thing against Space Soldiers is that's a team you can't as for because there's just less data on them, and what they do online is not really as similar to what they're doing on LAN at the moment as well. So this to me is actually a great test of what Misfits can do, an all-rounded team.
Well, we'll talk about Space Soldiers as well. You know, this is a team that, again, I'm still kind of a bit confused about what's going on because their online performances also impressed me with some of their LAN performances lately. I know they're very experienced again leader. We have a good understanding of the game. They've got explosive firepower when Zara's goes off. But they haven't been as good as I thought they were going to be so far at this main.
True, and it seems like the problem is adjusting to the environment. Maybe a bit of nerves as well, finally managing to qualify, or actually to get to the major, qualify the new stage, and they know what they're capable of. This team has, you know, very good... it's a very good orb behind and have everything they need to play. They're putting a lot of time, a lot of work, and they just don't have many opportunities as some of these other teams to show up on international tournaments. So I put a lot of faith in them. I put them as one of the teams to go through to the next phase, and I have them here. I think people are a bit too fast on the Misfits high train because it's the result they had at Pro League. No one expected them to perform, and they played a lot of games in one day. So it's like you play one game per day, and then teams can prepare more for you. It was like a shock performance from Misfits, and I don't think anyone's underestimated them from that point on. So sure, I think it's still an equal play. I think these two teams are very similar when it comes to skill and forth, and the map might be pretty interesting. I think it's going to be between one Cobblestone in the end.
Well, once again, you sorry, mate. It's a bit early in the morning. And Misfits have still trained. This is identified a week. Space Soldiers chosen. DT side did go to
I think that the vetoes for Misfits are set in stone, and that considering Miracle's two of the most paid for Space Soldiers, I thought they had advantage picking one to play, but it seems like, you know, they do something else and left training, and then the Misfits for deck. The one thing that's important here, very much, team that picks the map, team picks the side, so Space Soldiers will get to start on a much more favorable CT side.
Yep.
So I think it's very hard to nail them down when she wants to make them a job. Because right now, I think it was more experience dealing with a lot of sort of meta elements from that perspective. And they are a team that's still trying to discover how to online play style to the LAN play style. And when if they're actually able to do that, they could be very scary because power aggression can be pretty impressive. So this is unpredictable, but I also was one that willing Space Soldiers I can believe in their core.
Yes, so predictions, guys, we're ready for Yanko?
I'm going with Space Soldiers, especially on train. I'm looking to them to have a good start and then just snowball the game. They seem like a team that really, when they get a good start, you know, get the momentum, they have themselves up and ride that whole game.
Yeah, I think we're looking at a fairly for Space Soldiers. They have a good start. Should they get this on the CT side, get rolling, something in the region of like a 6-10 minutes.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Super break. Coming back at this game, Misfits versus Space Soldiers, which will be casted by Rey Mysterio. Big show. See you after the break.
ladies and gentlemen. I'm here at the Boost Mobile casting desk with Moses, and we're about to get into Space Soldiers versus Misfits. How do you feel about that matchup?
It kind of scares me. I think this is one of the harder ones to kind of go for each side, because we've seen good things out of both of them. We've seen some rough things out of both. Them, and both are trying to make that jump to be consistent contenders, dangerous squad to play against.
Yeah, I think consistency is going to be the big question here.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, as we saw yesterday, inconsistency can just spawn a lot of entertainment. So
It really can.
Yeah, we can get some of that in this game too, I reckon. I think it's going to be wild.
I liked what Sean had to say in his pregame interview with Smix, you know, about the map pool and really trying to exploit that, and also I think the realization that he may have blundered the map pick against G2, allowing Koppel to go through. So hopefully here on Train, going to be a bit more prepared. You would imagine a team led by Sean Gers would have some organization on Train, strategic map.
Yes, I think that's going to be the deciding difference. If Sean can have prepared enough from day 2 to 3, then that's going to make a big difference. I think Space Soldiers, they're an exciting team to watch, so I'm kind of looking forward to this game either way. I actually just think it's going to be a fun game. Engine already falling back, and Devivik trying to charge in, getting close with the Glock now. This is very, very dangerous. And Tara's on the other side, but he's getting overrun. The two French players coming in big there for Misfits and taking down two of the Space Soldiers players. Major fighting for his life here, and he will take down Sean, but just Sam on Engine, and now the bomb is down as well. This is not a good situation, and this long-range battle, I'm not sure why they're taking it. They shouldn't.
Yeah, and it's fortunate that he doesn't hit any of those shots. None of them fall down. There's a good one onto Shazam, but he's got to find Amanek to his right. So many angles he's got to worry about with the USP and can't even handle the first opponent. It's tough. That aggression from Misfits coming out of Ivy, they didn't slow down whatsoever. That's good, and they forced Xantares into one of those angles. Once they wrap that corner, it's just you hit those shots or you lose, and he obviously lost. So very nice job from Misfits. A basic tactic, and it works out for him.
I really like that, and I love Train as a map. I think it's one of the best maps. I think it's really underrated, and one of the reasons that it is because it does highlight so many of the tactical elements of Counter-Strike. And you see what happens when the player that's holding down towards Ivy gets pushed back. Suddenly that A yard just gets so compromised. It's so hard to hold for anyone who's there, so it's just a great visual map. And
your rotations on the defense, they can get complicated with all the different choke points and all the different angles that you have to worry about on this outside bomb site. So a lot of the defenses, it always is a key to develop, you know, your theory crafting of who's going to rotate where and who covers which gap. And right now, Misfits seems like they're outplaying Space Soldiers, and they are going to commit to the low ramp.
Good headshot to open up, and that was Major, the only one who was actually holding it. Just going to say, was my favorite map in 1.6, Train.
This map in 1.6 was so baller.
Yeah.
The ability to crawl onto trains, it was so much fun. I think every pro player, this might have been their favorite map. Sean's going to have a lot of pressure on it. Low. The bomb's going to get planted. Space Soldiers not even going to win the round. They're just trying to make sure they can bring these pistols and armor into the next one, but Sean's got two. So money and a lot of danger in the third round is taken away from Space Soldiers. Engine's wrapping behind him, and he's got Xantares out by Ivy.
Could be an easy kill here. In fact, Sean is caught shuffling between the weapons, so slightly unfortunate, but ultimately, if they can just keep the more than anything, it should be fine. No big issues at all. But I mean, this is pretty early on. I'm looking forward to what happens a little bit later on when Space Soldiers can pick up that AWP, and I also want to see how they play that defense, because I actually think some of the more successful defenses we've seen in the past couple of months on Train have evolved into quite a lot of aggression.
Yes.
I really enjoy that.
I think the next evolution of the meta on Train, because one thing that team have struggled to find out is a consistent and safe way as terrorists on this map to take control without losing too many players. And I think ever since, I don't know the first time ever since that's kind of to be employed, I think teams have done a much better job on the T side. I think it's a very effective way to do it, and we haven't seen a whole lot of players that are able to consistently stop that drop, as you call it. So the next evolution is what is the response from the CT side, because a lot of defenses rely on being able to hold ladder room and keep this angle.
Definitely not easy. I mean, now especially that the T side has also figured out how to throw Molotovs that land behind. You can get Molotov from both angles. It's just very tricky. Engine's gone down. Devivik coming in with some pretty good kills. A little bit of team time as well, but ultimately coming in with 2-3 big headshots right in a row. They're challenged way more than they need to now. He's finally going to just settle for getting the bomb down and coming for the smoke. Major almost gets the timing. That could have been beautiful. There's still a 2-on-2, and that headshot, though, making it very tricky. Sick is going to get the kill. And now Santaras, unfortunately, for everything that he's done, it's going to be almost impossible to find these two targets.
He's got to know Sick is low, though, and at the very least, if he pulls out the MAC-10, he can get some bonus money. That would help out into the next round. The time is ticking away. I don't think he's going to be able to get this as Amanek is in ladder room, and he can't find Sick. Working his way around the train, so some danger there. And if you're a Misfits fan, this is what you definitely don't want to see, is Xanter's hitting shots like this. He's helped out by Devaduvac on the first one. Great headshot, and then one onto Shazam as well. And if he's going to play well, then that's going to be so dangerous. He was such a key to their first victory yesterday.
Yes. That's going to get everyone pumping now. Double AWP as well. There's one on Shazam on the other side there. So, I mean, I like this. This has gone in deep very early on for Space Soldiers, but I like it.
Well, it works out. Paz is going to push up. He's going towards ladder room right now. Then Shazam towards the inner box. Paz in ladder room safely. Calyx boosted up, trying to look over the smoke, but Six actually worked his way out. Six being a playmaker here right through the smoke, and I think he might get caught. He comes through this, and he does. He thought he was going to be able to find Xanter's. That was almost a brilliant play, and meanwhile, Misfits just gives it up at the inner bomb site. Shazam with the holding off rotations. Major misses a couple critical shots. The bomb is going to get planted.
Deep grenades coming out, but Misfits are kind of stuck. Devaduvac trying to push up and put some pressure on the incoming CT force, and you have to do that. This position is really important, but Major's going to take him down. Close range shot, that's brilliant. Now it's a 5 versus 3. Amanek is on that bomb site. Santaras moving in, almost looking the wrong way. The spray comes through. Bomb is still ticking. Engine to take down Amanek. Shot from Shazam, easy enough, but now he's on the high ground. They do not have any grenades to get rid of him, and that's going to be a big issue. Not for Calyx, though. He's going to take him down, and there's the grenade landing right on the bomb, so they have to wait. Is that going to be too long? They're backing off. Oh, my God. One single Molotov there. Sean Gares. He is known for his tactical brilliance, but that was definitely right on point. The timing could not have been better.
That's so beautiful. Really well done from Sean, keeping his composure. A couple big misses from the Alpers. Shazam, Calyx missed when Shazam had the angle when he re-peeks into it, and obviously the shots from Major to allow them into the bomb site. That's good stuff, and that just shows you it can be so dangerous. And that's also the cost, by the way. Switching into that double op setup, those Alpers didn't have a lot of nades. So that's obviously the smoke that's missing to put out that Molotov. They didn't have the kits. So there's that investment in the second round coming back to haunt Space Soldiers early on here.
Just to point out, that little maneuver, I think we're probably going to see that again from Sick at some point if they need it. That took 3 smokes to get him out. There was actually a triangle of smoke that he walked into. Great shot from Major. Sick, no smoke's going to save him this time.
They're going to speed this up, though. Major needs to get back. I don't know if they realize he almost gets caught now. Adjusted. That's a great recovery. And even towards low ramp, just unscopes at the wrong moment. But he's gotten 2 early kills. There's a 30, adds onto it, and the no-scope can't land the 4th. Xanter's is here, though, and it's all down to Shazam. 1 versus 3, and he's trapped in the box halls. He'll have to find a way to get down. All kills matter in this round for Shazam.
Yeah, absolutely. Space Soldiers just showing what a good choice it was last round to give it up and run away, rather than try and sort of fight and lose a lot. They don't have any money left, Space Soldiers, so all the rifles they can hold on to here is going to be great.
And Shazam can play this so patiently, he can just wait. He doesn't have to necessarily be this aggressive. He is anyways. Engine's going to find him to the corner of the wall. Great round from Major, the opening 3 kills. This one was really good. It'll be interesting to watch the evolution of how Misfits, what style they bring out on this T side. They've started out very fast and very, very aggressive. One just allowing Sick to make a play in the yard, and then 4-man hit of the B bomb site. This time it was essentially a rush, a bit slower. So we'll have to see what they do moving forward. They still have the economy low of Space Soldiers, so they're going to force up into this one, spend pretty much all their money. Galil, Op, AK, and 2 CZs.
Lyson playing close with that AWP on the ramp. Really a lot of utility movement behind it. Shazam expecting an early peek on that mid-range. No one going very aggressive this time on Space Soldiers, so even Majors managed to fall all the way back. Looks like they're just waiting and biding their time right now, Misfits. They don't have that many grenades for an execute, though.
If Space Soldiers gets broken in terms of their economy early on, it's going to have such big implications for this half, because the double op setup is going to be hard to get back into swing. They'd have to double save to be able to have that much money, so it's actually huge if they would be denied what's obviously their go-to defense on the map. That would be great for Misfits. Molotovs ringing out, nades ringing out. Sick is leg down to 13. There's the cleanup on Amanek. Great response from Shazam, but the nade from Xanter's cleans one up. They still have a room to deal. I don't realize that.
Sean pushing in B. EnVyUs down at the Ivy. They're all over the place right now. Literally in 3 different places on the. They're not going to have any chance to help each other out. So they're just in quick rotation Space Soldiers. It's going to work at all. Sean is on fire in spite of the. He's on the ladder, and Santaris is going to take him down. AK shot there. Sean forced out of position. Now trying to get in there with the CC-75. I mean, he obviously wanted to try and creep up behind, but it's all falling. Only Calyx has gone in. It's right around Space Soldiers. They're not like nicking around the map and just running as they meet contact. Just quite cool.
Has to move out of that ladder room, which was right. He had full faith in his teammates to be able to handle what's thrown at them, and you had it exactly right. Just Misfits gets, I think, far too spread out across the map. No chance for any kind of coordination. It's going to be back onto just pistols, so Space Soldiers, minimize your losses here. That would be for them, as he's sticking to UP.
One flashbang for Sean. We always appreciate that. Much time has been spent talking about the $200 investment.
To be for Major, I would imagine the counter pop flash that we're in spotted. There's nades out. Major's get back away. Zanterra's already here. There's the flashbang. Comes in late. Doesn't let him get down the lower ramp, but does let him get down upper ramp. And they're going to get at least out of this. So already a victory. $200 investment from that flashbang. Some upgraded pistols as well, but they're not going for the win. Hoping for some kills, and just the plant is going to be all great.
Yes, indeed. Sick will go down, but killing them on board, absolutely worth it. Really well done. Not much else to say about that. Space Soldiers on their way back. Now up to 3 rounds, 3 in a row as well, which is always fun. We're talking about the investment for that double AWP and how close they were to not being able to afford it. Well, now they can. Even if they lose the round, they can rebuy into double AWP right away, and that makes a big difference.
Well, they haven't reinvested into it here. So going to the single AWP, maybe trying to switch up the look of their defense so Misfits calls something for a double AWP and kind of catches them off. But still, they have good money built up. You're exactly right. Shazam with the AWP. Hasn't really tried to go entries early on with AWP. He's coming out second and holding an angle and covering his teammates. Bit of support AWP coming through. Oh, he's waiting for him now. This push from Space Soldiers. Molotov out. Shazam would love for them to peek right now.
Ready and waiting. Flashbang does push him back a bit. Having maybe a little bit of trouble seeing through the smoke or the fire. In the meantime, they're making their way out A main as well. Calyx gonna take down Sick. Trying to see if they get into position. He's flashed, but still gets the second kill. Calyx coming up really big here. 2 kills. Sick and EnVyUs both going down. 3 versus 5 now. And Misfits having a really hard time cracking open this bomb site. Shazam a little bit to the left there, and he's gonna go down as well. Sean, the last one left. They need damage at least, and they're not gonna get anything. Calyx with a beautiful quad kill in the round.
I think this is where, if you're Sean, you call a timeout before your next gun round. That's rough, and you can see so much damage comes out running through the flames. I think a nade came in there as well, and Calyx is just able to easily clean up a couple thanks to his utility usage. That's a lot of damage taken early on in that hit. You can see Misfits, when Shazam calls it that it's a 2-man push towards Ivy, they want to get out mid, and they want to trap them and Ivy from getting involved in the action in yard. They're trying to punish them for their aggression. It doesn't work out. Space Soldiers had the correct call on the rotation back.
One of the things that Calyx didn't have to worry about was the push pop dog missing, right? Because normally if you're up on those trains fighting aim, you have to eventually fall off because otherwise pop dog player come and shoot you, but he really had freedom in that sense.
And remember the last gun round we had, actually, Paz was able to be in ladder room for the entire round. Had really put a whole lot of attention there.
You're right.
Then a lot of hits towards this inner bomb site. They're going to try and have some armor. They have more utility this time, and Major and Zanterra's are both here.
Be a bit of a grenade setup again, trying to get the bomb down to get some early kills, and maybe even turn around. They do have a bit of armor, upgraded pit, or we're trying to make it in. Starts with an initial kill there on Sick. Let's follow up. That's incredibly quick. Quad kill, looking for the ace. A blitz now, the kill comes in instead, and it will be the ace for Santaris. Great play there. Space Soldiers now well on their way.
I think that's 2 rounds in a row. No one has died on the Space side. They have plenty of money. 4 players over 10,000. Here's that timeout out of Sean Gares and Misfits. Going to talk things over, but one thing that Space Soldiers is doing really well, a lot of these rounds so far have been execute heavy. You know, throw your smokes. We have a lot of people coming out of 1 or 2 choke points. The Molotov and nade usage from Space Soldiers has been phenomenal. Zanterra's can be comfortable down like that because he knows they're not going to run fire and hell of bullets. So he's easy, and obviously the ace here is just a reward for him.
He's 13-3 right now, so he did a lot of work yesterday, continuing today.
He's running my predictions, Anders. I'm not happy with that guy.
You go for Mrs. Game?
Did go for Mrs.
Man, I did too. No, I think it's beautiful. It's wonderful because I was honestly on the first day I felt very let down by Space Soldiers. My expectations were high. So yeah, I'm excited that they're playing so much better.
I picked Sprout in that game. Well, and they seem to be punishing me every step of the way since then.
Really so.
For my insolence. Sean's close up towards T mid. We haven't seen that play yet. He creeps out T mid. As you mentioned, it takes a lot of utility to bat off. Calyx playing in a new position. Paz has gone passive towards the bomb train. Pretty good setup as Xantar rotated back towards center. 3 players outside. They haven't spotted anything quite yet. And you imagine with Sean and T-Mid and Shazam and Devaduvek out towards Ivy, they haven't even been aggressive towards Ivy whatsoever, so they don't know what they're looking at in terms of defense, but this is looking like it'll be a split towards outside eventually with Sick and Aminet coming down ladder.
See how that works out. We talked about that pop dog position being so valuable when you go for that A pinch, and maybe it's going to work out for them this time. You can already see on the minimap what the issue is with the A defense right here for Space Soldiers. Each person's covering one angle each. So if one goes down, then someone else has to settle essentially. And that's usually too much. Now they've got a fourth player there, which means they're in a much better position. Really timely rotation from Santaris to come into the A-bomb side.
And Misfits has done nothing across the map. This is going to be so difficult. They're going to come out now with 4 players here. Paz and Calyx are starting to play more aggressively behind these smokes. Time is running. They start to hit. Great shot for Shazam to start things still here. He wants to make a play, but his teammates are falling. The defense is collapsed despite the stack of players here. And Shazam with more teammates back. That seals the round for sure. Major's the last one left as he peeks up from CT ramp.
You could essentially replay this round and just put in a Counter-Strike textbook, because it explains everything you need to know about defending a bomb site on this one. As soon as Santaris went down, you could see that Calyx, who was actually holding main, had to sort of swing out into the open to try and help out at Ivy, and already too much. That was more than he really needed to do, and he just couldn't hold both positions.
Just surprised. That's a round that's not going to work out too often, I don't think, just because of how low the time was and a little presence Misfits had on the map. So it's pretty risky. Everything works out this time. Something goes wrong in the future, and they'll struggle.
One big thing that went wrong, great shot from Justin, but I actually think the flashbang was way off anyway, and that's a misstep there.
Let's see. Oh yeah, it didn't blind anyone. They were all clear.
So that is obviously unforgivable. Can't really have that happening. This is great. Up and that's good.
Apart from monumental
critical and cooling mistake that ruined the round. 5 versus 5 here, and moving into the 11th round, we have again just a single AWP there on Major. They could have afforded more Space Soldiers, even buying now. They still have an enormous amount of money, so Misfits just need to keep through, and that's a great right hand shot. Sick, taking down Azan. Engine is going to be quick with the return in. Maybe could have been there a bit earlier, but now he's been forced back, and Misfits pushing the issue before too many people were looking here for Space Soldier. Calyx in a lot of trouble. He's got a grenade in hand. Engine has gone down, and Calyx going to get sprayed through. Sean pushing through the smoke. Bomb is down. Major missing the shot, and this is all in the part. They just need to not challenge. They will do it anyway, but usually just leave Santaris alone. He seems to be in that kind of a mood.
Space Soldiers caught off by the aggression of that round. Paz obviously goes down. A great entrance from Sick was all he was really required to do, but when he peeks out towards ladder, he spots 2 players there, so they know that 2 players, you can see that smoke right there at the back of the green train. They know with 2 players stuck behind that, they're going to have pretty much an open bomb site. There won't be a whole lot of resistance. Indeed, it was Calyx who had to kind of run through a smoke of his own and connector to even have some kind of a presence there, and he gets eliminated. So all that money that Space Soldiers had is starting to dwindle. It's Xantaris who hasn't bought, who has 10,000 right now. They've taken a timeout.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean, if you look at it from their point of view, they had a pretty good run of winning rounds back-to-back, but there's so many things that have gone unexplored for them yet. Lots of things that they could try and do that they haven't done yet. I mean, we talked about how aggression was sort of coming back into it for the CT side, pushing those brown holes over at the B-bomb side. 2, sometimes even 3 like that.
Yeah. It's interesting that they haven't gone, I mean, they don't even pick up in this round, so maybe they want to get more aggressive. So, had some success with that double op, away from it themselves. You know, Misfits didn't beat the double op, they just kind of let it fade away. Pushing towards inner, Major's here, passes and ladder is available for a quick block needed. He's feeling peppy.
Very dangerous game to be playing here for Engine. I'm not sure I'm loving that. Be very careful. Sam was on the other side with the AWP and a lot of AKs as well.
There's 3 players there for Space Soldiers. They were very centralized over towards Ivy. Seems like they have kind of like a roaming defense wherever they hear or feel pressure or hear presence. They want to rotate 2 to 3 players to that choke point. And they can play this passively because they know they have Paz still alive in ladder room, who will create an extra angle of attack for the defense. And he's gotten creative. He knows Sick is spotting for this. He's right beneath him, and he's got to run through the flames. Down to 28 HP. That hurts.
Are they going to go for the double boost down into the flames themselves? What on earth is going on? They're going to try and get by me. I just don't even know what I was watching there.
Eee. That makes you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, just almost impossible to explain. Not sure why Paz took that much damage either, but We'll just skip past all of that and look at this defense over at B. 29 seconds, Major gets one, great double kill. And then Santeras chiming in, taking down Sean Amanek, switching in behind, but it's just a little bit too late. 1 versus 3, make it 1 versus 2 here with 18 seconds. Shazam, he can do this if they give him the chance. So far, manages to stay alive, takes a grenade right to the face, and he's down to 11 health. One more to follow it up, that would probably be the end of him, but don't have one yet. Calix will take him down. That is around for Space Soldiers. I feel like Misfits just, for no apparent reason, got very confused in that round.
They did seem to get, yeah, well, I mean, I think we were all confused when we were watching them try and take ladder room with all the fire that was going on. That flashbang was actually perfect. It blinded Santeras. There was a small window of opportunity. Misfits, kind of a contact play with just one flashbang, being a little bit risky, kind of cheating down ramp. And they just weren't able to pounce on it in time. They couldn't turn that corner to take a battle with someone who was half blind. And once Santeras, the flashbang removed from his screen, they had a beautiful crossfire set up to eliminate everybody.
Ties up the scoreline at 6-6. Still anybody's game right now. Everybody can buy, so wondering what's going to happen here. Misfits are kind of running low on money, and in the meantime, looks like Engine wants to push over on this side. So many grenades being exchanged to keep the foot here and just...
He's taken some damage, and actually, they let up the spray, so good timing on Engine. 74 HP on him, not too bad. Sick and Amanek, but very slow in how they want to take ladder room. Paz is going to be at the electric box this time. Major's the only defender at the inner bomb site, and he's far, far back with that AWP. Here's some aggression, pop flashing into team main, gaining map control, gaining information.
Shazam looking at the wall at the moment, but you can actually shoot right through that wall with the AWP, so if he was feeling adventurous, maybe that would be a thing. Paz, I feel like he's good at taking these forward positions, and they're going to be really valuable as long as he can stay alive.
And Shazam obviously knows with the deep smoke, with now the deep Molotov to follow it up, he's going to tell his team. That's the communication coming through, and that's an ill-advised peek from Engine. Deviduvek drops him. That's going to ensure that Major is isolated at the inner bomb site. Force rotations. Deviduvek and Sean are going to try it up. They're splitting, but Sean switches his gun, and there's 2 kills for Santeras, and that hurts. Major, the timing on that scope is a bit rough, and they're going to make their way to the inner bomb site.
Major was pulled out of the bomb site, otherwise he would have been there ready and waiting, so this is a very strange round. I feel like Misfits should be miles ahead in this round, but somehow they're not. In fact, they're a man down. Only real advantage is the bomb, and there comes Paz from behind, taking down Shazam. Not looking good. Sick and Amanek sort of standing on top of each other, and you never want to do that. As soon as they get caught here, they're going to be in so much trouble. The flashbang is in, and Amanek is going to be going down. That's a great retake here for Space Soldiers, but Misfits just kind of losing their minds, I think, and Calix is too.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. This for Sean, he's going to be hitting himself for this one. You can't have that. You're in enemy territory. You're trying to split the bomb site. You got to be careful about those rotations, and Santeras is able to come off guard. But I think Misfits again just kind of seem to get disorganized or discombobulated once they take that site. So they throw a Molotov into the Z. The rotations, those from coming in, and you have option there. You either need to get out of the bomb site to be able to clear and watch your flank, or you need to push forward and get aggressive behind that Molotov because you have all that ground you can gain. They did neither. 2 players just save bomb sites, and got killed, and you're bottled up, and there's no way you can win in that situation.
Quick, on the side of the smoke, they're going to try to pass this more. I'm ready for it. He's ready. Another headshot comes in. All 3 with the AK. Beautiful sequence from him. Misfying enough, any life difficult for him. There could have been a flashbang. There could have been some sort of follow-up. Had free reign to get those kills, and now 2 versus 3 here. Shazam bringing it back into a 2-on-2.
That's so nice from Paz. Shuts down the hit. The pop flash comes through for the smoke. Oh, that's a big, big miss. The opportunity was there, and he can't get the follow-up either. Trying to get on top of the train in time, and Major cleans him out. Space Soldiers up 8-6. This has turned into a very nice half, but this is beautiful. He was even blind on that first one.
Yeah. Went very high, the flashbang. The next 2, though, he had just perfect vision for it. So what do we make of this? I mean, I guess the heartbreaking situation here is the fact that Misfits don't have enough to really buy anything in the last round here. I mean, they've got an AK, but
listen,
the rest.
Maybe Vega Squadron gave him some tips on how to use the MAC-10s.
You were loving that one, you.
Oh, I was so smug.
I feel like you deserve it, though. 'Cause out of all the people in the green room, you're the one.
I deserve good things. the major engine missions could catch him off guard. Better could hand over a rifle. Remains to be seen. Catches him off guard. Actually, it even seemed like they might have been ready for that, but now they've spotted the second player, the AWP, to cover major, and they don't want to mess with it whatsoever.
I don't know why they're sticking around here, Space Soldiers. It's fine to sort of linger for a second or something, but then you've got the win. Just back off. It's now a really good chance to win the round.
The tough part is if you're Misfits, you want to push them back, and you have to at least go check. And actually, they're just going to go right forward. Sean with the bomb trying to go crazy, and they're sick. The only round he's up EnVyUs, but doesn't matter. Even just a plant here, last round of the half, that bonus money doesn't mean anything, so you might as well go for the win. Long-range spray isn't going to work out. A great job from Space Soldiers, and I think that half was really decided early on. Those 2 rounds that Space Soldiers had where they didn't lose anyone, where they had all 5 players survive in 2 rounds, that bolstered their economy so much that even that losing spree, that little 2 rounds that they lost later on, never dented. They never got broken after that. So tough, but not a bad half overall. You could see kind of the style that Misfits was employing. I think once they started getting just annihilated by all the Molotovs and choke points, they made it very simple. A lot of it towards the inner bomb site, towards ladder room, was just a single, like 1 or 2 pop flashes coming over the wall and play the trade game. Didn't really work out at the end of the half. Thanks to, big plays from guys like Paz and Xantares.
Just a very interesting first half. There were some pretty glaring mistakes.
Yes.
But ultimately, yeah, Xantares had 19 kills in one half. That's amazing. See if he can continue at this rate here. 9-6 going into the second half. Now Misfits side on there. Smoke and CC defuse kit. Smoke doesn't have in case you need to defuse, but usually you want the kit as well.
That's going to go towards Ivy. Here's the decoys, and I think he's just scouting. Meanwhile, Xantares lead away. Out ladder room, long fit. You've got to get killed, Misfits. At this range, you have to win these battles, and it's not happening. Now they've been close. Glock's world here. EnVyUs still holding on to the bomb site with other shots. He's being wrapped on, but he's still alive somehow. They haven't been able to take him down, and somehow he's making it work. He's bought so much time for his team, and En just got to bail out and try and get the plant towards inner.
And they spotted him, so they're right on his heels. They're going to be a little bit worried. They did see him, didn't they? I think they're worried that he's waiting for them. Finally starting to make their way in as Engine gets the bomb down. He's at 35 health. This is, again, almost impossible, but if you don't find out where he is, they're going to be spotting him from 2 different angles. Sean will take him down, and that will be Misfits winning an absolutely critical round here. And yeah, EnVyUs obviously the hero in this round.
How does he not die? He's got 2 players. Obviously takes 1, but this shot's from the side. Major. Small blunder there. Could have given them a chance to that. 7th round for Misfit with that pistol win. That's how both pistols won for them, actually.
It is. Usually you're on the right path. We'll see if they can do good in the 3rd round, where Space Soldiers are going to have AKs. They have not bought anything. They can bomb out in the pistol. 10 times out of 10, maybe even more than that. I'm just going to say for the ace. We've seen some crazy changes from that every once in a while.
Yes.
A mad team will show up and do something.
You have the old, like, come on AK over and see if you can make something. Henry's trying to coin that as a tactical purchase, tactical buy.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I appreciate that. And this round, not with a grenade to secure another bomb plant. Those are always fun if you get sort of back-to-back bomb plants, even if you lose the round for the team.
This is also a situation almost like soldiers maybe spread out across the map and kind of probe everything, see how they're defending it now. It doesn't always mean that it's going to stay true when it gets to the gun rounds, but you kind of see where players are liking to peek and shoulder peek towards Ivy. Maybe you can catch some small tendency that gives you some intel for the future.
Misfit, not really the ones that need to do anything, so just wait. They've got every and it could be turned if anyone goes down, so that's good news.
Sit close up with the MP9. Shazam far back with the FAMAS. Great cheer for Sick to... They're going to jump out there to try and screw with his aim. Shazam's isn't bothered, and there goes Sickly. So they're going to get another bomb plant, which means that 4th round buy is going to be especially strong.
Did he just get bursted in the head? I did. That was really impressive. I'd love to see that replay, actually. That must look cool. Not a chance here, and he's going to be going down. So defuse is coming up. Will be around for Misfits. So 8-9, that was pretty much what we were expecting. I'm impressed. That was a great job for Space Soldiers. Get bomb plant down. It's going to make connection for them much better.
Sick was probably licking his chops once he hears those footsteps of that MP9. He's on it. He was so ready, it gets annihilated. Here it is. Oh, he spotted him over, and yeah.
Ooh, nicely done. He's absolutely gone, isn't he?
It's a little homage to Neo.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to appreciate that. Looks actually. Not at all.
Has been playing very well.
He had a very slow start. I think he was the slowest almost out of all of them. So that's a great comeback.
Look at this buy from Space Soldiers. You could actually argue that it's even better. 5 AKs, all with full nades. Famos and MP9 on the CT side of Misfits. Shazam does have that AWP, so you'd want him to get involved. 4 players for Space Soldiers heading towards the inner side. It's Sick, and it's going to be Shazam on the rotate. And all 5 players for Space Soldiers for this T side are above ladder. Or excuse me, 4. Engine back towards T-spawn.
See what happens. Devaduvik actually rotating in towards B, so that's an unusually heavy stack towards the B bomb site for Misfits. Amanek and Sean, they had better be, you know, correct in their calls here. Otherwise, this could get really bad.
This, with the position of Space Soldiers at the moment with Engine, it seems like they're going to try and do some kind of a fake towards outside. It's not likely you'll see 4 players kind of go down ladder if they go for that, so they're just going to clear out ladder room. I think Engine will throw some nades from towards T-spawn for the outer bomb site. They'll throw some through these windows. They're hoping to pull Shazam away for just half a second and hit that inner bomb site.
They have so many grenades that for Shazam to hit a shot down there on the low ground definitely won't be easy. Some pressure on. There's the pretended wall of smoke, the famous one on the A bomb site, but it's all just a ruse. Instead, they're going to go for the B bomb site, and we'll see how this happens. 40 seconds now as they're making their way on. Sick is going to be calling it in. Shazam, he hits 1 shot. They need more because backup is still not quite there, and now they're slowing it down too much. Space. It's like they needed to be on this bomb site very quick. Paz does light up the second. Down to Sam, a brilliant opening very, very late in the push. Engine has gone down in the meantime, and it is still a 3-on-3, and now they're trying to get out. Paz position is incredibly good. The spray is in. The AK-47, he shuts it down. The quad kill, picking up all of Misfits. That's such brilliant play.
They didn't do a good enough job holding off that aggression from Space Soldiers, and Space Soldiers did a very nice job of getting aggressive down the train lanes. Paz, again, clearing this spot out. Sick has no intel of what's coming. They lost track of their lanes, and Paz is able to make a brilliant flank here. 1 more to end it off on Sean, and then Devaduvik as well.
I was confused watching it at how Space Soldiers initiated the push and then supposed it, just clicking in, and then went for it again. I think that might have thrown them off a little bit about exactly what was going on.
I think it was weird as well. The timing for Sick when he was looking up towards the upper ramp, I think he kind of lost track of how many players, didn't quite see everyone, so didn't realize how much of a hit it actually was. Regardless, it's a brilliant job by Paz, and here's that boost drop we were talking about earlier, clear ladder. This has been so good.
Do we have a name for this? Can we call it the Grand Slam?
Yeah, we can call whatever you want.
Right.
You're the general.
All right. I think that was a type of bomb used to bunkers deep in the ground. Well, maybe we can do that.
Okay.
Engine setting up for some knowledge for you, Moses.
Got a bit dark again.
Get a bit dark, didn't it? Does happen every once in a while. Looks like they're setting for a similar type of smoke as the last round, where it was fake. This time maybe it won't be. They've already lost Major, unfortunately. Space Soldiers. We saw how much their economy was great in the first half. They need to build something here. Deep smoke onto Ivy and has to make way down. I mean, I love this push up here. That's such a good position.
Can't get pre-fired, and if they come around, I think that will be spotted with Amanak really into the action. It's gonna be dicey. Here it comes. Amanak right on the other side. Easy kill for him. Continues to spray. Swaps on it, but he's caught through the smoke. But it should be an easy one to get to. There's only 3 defenders left. Sick. Sean and Old Hell. He's only got us easy. He's gonna wrap around the bottom. There's jump up onto the train. He's got to get this kill. It's just who finds it. They should know.
They definitely do. Shazam ready and waiting. Calix had nowhere to run, so there was just sort of thinking for a couple of seconds, and you knew that he was going to go. Just a good double. Amanek with a good double kill, and it will be Misfits picking up the round, which is obviously a bit of a shame. Space Soldiers at least got 3 kills. They got the bomb plant down. They could theoretically buy a couple of Ks and keep the pressure on a Misfits team that really don't have a lot of money. This is they're going to do that. I kind of like that. That's all from them.
It definitely. Nice job from Shazam with this up. I think Space Soldiers might be surprised to have stopped in. I certainly would bet. 18 and 14, having a very good game. He's really picked his pace recently as a player. Found good form in this Misfits team, despite some early struggles in his career. Again, Space Soldiers sending 3 AKs, 2 MAC-10s. We'll see what he can do. He's got a lot of pressure on him, and he can't get any nades out. The Molotov is going to pick up through that. There's 1. That's the important kill. He needs to turn around and watch his back, and he's got a set. He does it in 3rd, holding it beautifully. That Molotov barely in time, and even though Shazam goes down, 6 still lives with 60 HP.
Calix coming back strong into it with a triple kill after everything that he's done. There's 1 more headshot. Calix taking a quad. And now Devaduvik, 1 versus 2. How does it turn around? He did everything right. Calix has finally gone down. Now 1 minute and 10 seconds. And this is actually a train. It happens every once in a while. Now, how do you know where to go? When you haven't seen the opponent for a good 20 seconds, it just becomes incredibly hard to guess.
you really don't know where to go. This becomes so difficult, and you're going to start sweating this one if you're Deva-Duvek. The tough part is you obviously want to stay between each of the bomb sites. You want to be able to rotate to each one once the bomb gets planted. You want to keep track of the bomb, which you know is on the ground. But it's all down to who clears where. I guarantee Major clears this position. I guarantee not looking likely immediately after setting.
by Moses start, 100% true. It's just going to work out great. Yeah, oh, he's looking the wrong way. The timing is perfect. There's no way to, you can't really blame anyone for this. This is kind of a coin flip, but ultimately Misfits are going to win it. And this whole thing from Space, there's an unbelievably underrated part of this round that I think maybe we'll see. This is just great work from Sick, and obviously that's it. But if you notice on the replay, there's behind him in the C connector that's thrown from Space all the way from T zone. I hope that's still up there. I hope we can see it, because that is very cool. So it's been brought up before.
Yes.
I know GobB did it, and I know because I talked to him about it before, and certainly that's very cool. If we can get a shot of that at some point, that would be brilliant.
It's been used and played on a lot of different versions of Train away so there. Still, with Sick getting that triple kill, that should have been shots from by Cal. Julian put them in the round, a chance to win in the 1v1, and also take economy away. A couple blunders from Misfits. Still in it, and this time they have two players inside, Sean and Sick, and they have Amanek right below the ladder. So they're getting a lot of information with these footsteps, just Glock. So not too much danger, but still, I mean, the crazy thing is, still just can't build this economy. They've struggled so much to see a shotgun on Sean, UMP and Amanek, so love to get some of that bonus money flowing here.
Yeah, very different CT halves here for the two teams. And that already could be sort of the breaking point for it. If Spade just get, just a good round in, so you have to save. Good spray, though, from Sick. He's really on point here. And Sean, one more maybe would have done it. Calyx is going to take him down. No bomb plan, though. And Sick is going to be having a great round there. And the quad coming through. He's up to 13. So 10-11. Very slight lead here from Spade. Nowhere near enough to fall.
Oh, not at all whatsoever. Sean's going to have an M4 pass over to him. That puts Shazam's money, the offer, down to 250. So got a knife's edge here for the defense. I mean, if they lose this, they'll still buy in the next round, but that'll be the last one. So they are not feeling comfortable at the moment. Sick is going to be alone towards the inner bomb site. Space Soldiers has had a lot of pressure there. We'll see what they can do to the outer bomb, because it looks like Drew's going to feign some fast presence. Sean's going to be put under pressure over towards side, and Shazam is close up with the op.
Two men down at Ivy. We'll see if maybe they can set up something. I mean, if you time it down right for a peek, that's always interesting. Neko very low one. His crosshair was off by just, I think, a couple of pixels. Otherwise, maybe that would have been a headshot on Paz. Great peek from Santaras, and that's the kind of opening they need. Pushing in. Engine almost walks right into Deva-Duvek, but now they've got him in the corner. Sick with the kill. Somehow he's still alive. He's going to go down. Engine. That was such an awkward fight from both sides. 2 versus 3 now. She's spotting one out and reading the situation well, but not quick enough to get the kill. And now it's all on Sick. 1 versus 3, roaming out, trying to stop, and he gets the headshot. Still out in the open, and he's going to get shut down from Paz all the way from Pop Dog. That will be the equalize, 11-11. But it's much worse than that. The money is so sketchy right now for Misfits. 3 can buy, and 2 kind of can't. They're going to go for it anyway.
It's not a matter of can't. You just have to at this point. You can get reset. You have enough money to make a buy work. You're going to drop an oppo jam. Sean, I feel likely to just stay on an SMG or a pistol. But boy, did Space Soldiers just destroy them in his first hit. Amanek gets blinded, he gets a nade dropped on his feet. Sean just gets...
Delete it.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a PG way to say it. Xantares on top of the train is going to get down, which is a nice start. The deep holding strong, but Engine's going to get the trade, and Calyx, who's been great, out deals massive jump. 6 got to get involved. He can get out of this connector. He's up behind the smoke. It's all on Shazam, who's last cannon up, and he can't really do a whole lot. That's the bomb side loss, and Misfits might want to start thinking of saving.
Yeah, we haven't had many weapon saves. There was one that Space Soldiers did very early on where they saved both the orbs and an M4. Other than that, it's been kind of a raw battle here, and I feel like now Space Soldiers are really starting. They are going to be falling back, and there was a lot of chaos there, because Amanek gets the first kill, but then after that, it seems like Misfits are actually just fighting, 2s or 3 all the way through, and they're just sort of trickling to the bomb site one at a time.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
I don't think Misfits are kind of pacing. It's a great system off, especially maybe having knowledge, tracking the economy of their opponent, realizing they do buy, it's going to be really wrapped together. So not a whole lot of utility in those choke points. Able to get out. Yeah, Calyx has nothing blocking him. I was just late. They didn't have good feel at the time. So Calyx beats that and then pretty much destroys the defense with one and massive damage. Sean, there's nothing that they can do. Really, really good round. Timeout called by Misfit.
Now, everything about this is great. Major take charge. A lot of experience again. You see two that suited with him yesterday. I don't know if we put all into subs on it, but I really enjoyed that.
I missed it.
You missed it. I'll show it to you at some point. Major was talking about. I want people to talk about Counter-Strike. Like, he was basically saying, not interested in all the everything else. We were worried about the people level, we were worried about the tactical style, and also learning how to play on a big stage and getting that experience. So definitely someone you could tell that with the game, and that made me a fan really quick. 12-11. We're going to go into the 20. AWP saved, M4 saved. Things are not going now for Misfits.
Oh, there, Dyers. Gonna hope for some magic out of Shazam and Sick in this round. As Space Soldier starts to work their way in, all 5 players, very, very simple, heading towards the inner site. Amanek has rotated, but he's only got a USP. So it's all on Sick and his very small amount of nades.
Shazam moving in close. I mean, it seems like, man, this AWP, there's a stack waiting for him. Oh my god.
I can't use your AWP. It's one of the few weapons you have, and you go for a close range fight, a delayed peek. Oh, Debaduvac can get this kill, but it's not going to happen. Misfits crumbling here. Some poor decision making.
So brilliant as well. They actually go down, steal the AWP, put it in the shower. Maybe it's going to get rusty and stuff. Major comes in. Don't answer that, Moses.
I'm not going to.
It's just talking to myself.
The whole world knows you've lost your mouth.
It's been evident for a while, hasn't it? Amanek losing his head as well as his mind, I suppose.
Yeah, he's lost both.
Tend to go together. And this is so. I mean, we must try and make the point that economy is king in the game of Counter-Strike. That it's such an important and well overlooked thing. And if you try to match sort of the difference between these two halves, a huge part of the story is the fact that Space Soldiers had money to buy when they lost round, and Misfits did not. And you can really tell how that's shaping up for them.
They've got Calyx on the screen there. He's had a phenomenal game, 20, and the story doesn't completely tell. That round where it was a 2-on-5 and he gets 4 kills, even though they lose it, the money he took away from Misfits in that round has been in the later stages of this game. And it could be, it puts him over the top.
Ready and waiting. Molotov is going to disappear. There's so many people on the other side. Amanek is there, but he's smoked off. Can actually make this work. Very aggressive move coming up here from Misfits. And they're right at the corner, and it's going to explode. Sick coming into it, but Paz with a double spray down headshot. Amanek trying to get it back, but still, Space Soldiers coming out on top, and now they're down on side. The ball is just making its way on. Shazam jumping past, not even checking the train, and the flashbangs are in. Everybody's blind, and it's going to be the spray from Shazam finally coming out on top. It's a man. Calyx going to be taking down Sean and Shazam. 8 health in a 1-2. Surely going to go on down. In fact, I think even the gun model there blocking his field of view. So another round for Space Soldiers, 14-11.
Oh, what a tense round. They had what they wanted. That flashbang, though, I believe Amanek throws it from the lower ramp. It doesn't actually blind Paz, who's close. I think it was closer than they expected. That spells their doom, as they're not ready for that shallow of a peak. And that's pretty much it. Misfits have to play for overtime. They have to force 8 to force 30, and Space Soldiers has plenty of money for them to grind down. Back onto the CZ's name. Misfits needs a mirror for somebody. And again, this T side from Space Soldiers has just been simple. It's been 4 players towards the bomb site. The majority of rounds, just one player, Engine, watching for push-ups towards Ivy. They've had so much success off of it.
Yeah, they really have, and like, a good mix of rounds that are slow and coordinated, and then those really fast knockout rounds that. So
this is the Space Soldiers we didn't see. On the first day. This is the Space Soldiers we didn't see if you kept track and followed the Mountain Dew League finals. There's a good flash down the ladder room. They're both completely blind, and now both completely dead. If you did watch Mountain Dew League, Space Soldiers really struggled there against Tier 2 competition. Had a pretty tough time. AGO with the wipe them out. Now there's an event where left questioning where Space Soldier. It's great. Major says we're not worried about the firepower, we're worried about the tactics. With firepower outside of Xanterra. So in that sense, the tactics aren't going to work. Now we're seeing today Calyx having really big impact. Paz has been phenomenal, and Xanterra's has been there as well. So this is where this team can get dangerous.
Right now, they do seem to have everything going their way. He's got a good headshot at P bomb side, but now he's obviously locked out, and they're not even going to try and fight. They're just going to use the smoke, and they're absolutely great. There's no really chance at all.
No, Shazam is going to have to be happy. Go get the AK-40 and bring it into the next one. If you're Misfits, you need every small gift you can get.
They're going to leave him alone. No chasing him down. So, bit of a slow end to this round here. 15-11 is going to be the scoreline moving into the 27th round. How are they going to defend this? I like the fact that they tried Misfits to go 3-man aggression with round holds. Like that's going to shake things up. I think if you must look to just repeat the same thing for 6 rounds in a row, and then I prefer to see people at least try once, even though it's work out.
Yeah, the tough part is, it is kind of fun. You have that kind of thought. Like if Space Soldiers is just massing bodies towards hulls, if you send your own, it's just kind of a heads-up duel. It's always kind of, do you put people there? Do you stack it? Do you kind of stack the bomb site and let them execute with that kind of hit? Kind of lure into a trap.
I said we've got double AWP, so is that going to work for Misfits? I wonder. Obviously, big investment. Doesn't really matter to win all the remaining rounds and put us into overtime. Have we had overtime yet? We haven't, have we?
I believe so.
It's so rare. There are some occasion stages where that's almost all we have.
A lot of those comeback they won that ended like the Renegade 16 GF became a passive thing. We had, you know, obviously Flash today with that big comeback from 312.
I mean, the guy in the roulette now, you know, because it hasn't happened before. Now definitely.
I think that's how it works.
All right. Sick and Shazam holding the B-bomb site, and Shazam's probably going to get smoked off before anything happens. Sick, though, he has to stay alive. I think that's the main decision. Bring down Santero's just straight up to Sick. The smoke lands a little bit late, so Shazam has a chance for the shot, and great play from Sick. Taking down Paz, it's looking a little bit better now. It is going to be 2 here. He's alone against Drama, so only losing Sick. And there were a couple there that didn't really think, especially that late smoke, was dangerous.
Yes. Well, when he sets coming, he gets in front of it. This is a nice kill here from Sick. Falls, he's dead. But he comes through and basically Sick, who also, as he's failed to do a couple times in this game earlier, you know, clears out the player wrapping around the train or looking towards upper ramp, trying to see those people who are coming from the side. So good play from the young guy.
Ooh.
Now it's 15 as they come back. Calyx has over $12,000 before this purchase. Plenty of money still on the Space Soldier side. There's going to be a tactical discussion.
There is plenty of money, but Passenger have $200 between them.
There's one more buy after this round, so let's win this. There'll be a buy.
So if they can win the next 2, then probably almost certainly overtime.
Pro economy at 14-15. Yeah. We'd love to see that.
Could get interesting here. 28th round. Look, Shazam doing a good job. Sick doing a good job. Space was just time for it. Oh, whoa.
You hate that. Oh, you don't get it at all. Team shot to the spinal cord.
Yeah, a little slap, but that's
That is.
Just though unaware of the climate on the other team, instead just going to be crouching towards the brown holes, looking to make their way down. This could be very fast and aggressive coming in. So land right in front, grenade to follow. Not really going to catch anyone, but we'll see.
It's the exact defense they just faced. Sick spot here. They gets one. There's Shazam with the peek. It's deja vu. Sick going to go for more. This time he's got no one wrapping in the AWP. Still ringing out from long range. Major finally takes him down, and Sick, he gets eliminated, but the reinforcements are here. Devin Duvet going to go to the upper ramp. Major going to try and make a sidewalk. The smoke covering, and he finds one up top.
Big play from Major, but it's just not enough. Sean will take him down eventually. And now Engine closes to make it 16-12. He's close in. They're going to be right on him. They spot his feet, and now he's in trouble. Trying to fall back. Amanek will take him down. It will be a little bit longer here for Misfits. 13-15 instead. That was very, very close. What's going to happen now? I mean, the money, they get the bomb hunt, so definitely another buy for sure. I mean, they actually more money than you'd expect.
Oh yeah, the plant helps out so much. So this is going to be healthy Space Soldier side. And depending on how they spend that money, regardless, Misfits still alive. Holding on just barely, finally able to switch into this double op setup between Shazam and Amanek, and it seems to be a working recipe. Shazam's play towards that inner bomb site as the defender of the last few rounds. And Space Soldiers, it'll be a round. A couple here. And finally, Misfits has shown they're able to shut comfortably.
And as a result, maybe Turkish team decided, let's not try and repeat that once again. Let's just do something else. Amanek missing a shot, definitely the opportunity. Jumps back into a bullet, so about that one.
I can't believe I just saw him jump back across.
Yeah.
That's craziness. Lucky to get out. Would love to have that pick. Both ops now here at the outer bomb site, though the tough part is Amanek can get blocked up by so, and that would be deadly. There's no one paying attention towards IB except for him.
And there's the smoke you were talking about, blocking him off. Shazam taking a push there. Molotov's temporarily holding them back. Under a minute now. And Bomb is making it back all the way into the holes. Let's see what happens now. Trying for the spray. Santara's going to get one. Shazam down, and now they're trying to see if they can make it back out into the yard. Engine coming in inside and after the team from the Alamo headshot. Taking a right into Shazam, and that's the Bomb. Engine coming in with a great double spray. And now Amanek, 1 versus 3. This is absolute hell. Bomb is about to go down. Can you see the feet? You can shoot on the train. Oh, he almost gets it, but a little too late. And they're going to go into hiding, and everything is working against him. He gets a shot to the face. 16-13. The Space Soldiers pick up. What an intense battle.
Almost able to make the comeback with that nightmare at the end. That one smoke blocks off Amanek's view, and no one picked it up. Sean's going to be a bit frustrated with his death there. They had some questionable rounds, so they overall, you have to say great Space Soldiers, very well mounted. Xander's with a phenomenal Calvi, 23 kills just behind him, but it was Paz, I think that was the impact he was able to have in some rounds. Incredible stuff all across for Space Soldiers.
Yeah, I mean, really fun team. I think there's a reason why people talk about them much. They've had their ups and downs, but I think it's just exciting Counter-Strike. Really fun to watch, and some of these openings have just been fabulous. Santaris had 27 kills towards the end.
Yeah.
So I look forward to seeing the breakdown on the desk, and we'll be right back with that after the break.
ST on Train.
Yeah, and Dan, I was a little bit surprised when Train sort of came up, actually, because Space Soldiers have proven that they can do all right on this map. I think they beat Optic on it, if I remember rightly, to even sort of be in contention here at this major. So yeah, but perhaps some homework again kind of going awry there from Misfits.
Yeah, I think to an extent it's a map that can always be good for a team like Space Soldiers, because Space Soldiers, I don't think we know them to be tactically, you know, giants, for example. Sure. But Train is a map where the basics are somewhat established, and if you can get out of those initial choke points into the, you know, the yards, as it were, into the open spaces, it's more about having just decent, like, well, basic team play and so on, and just getting the shots off. And that's obviously something that they're pretty darn good at doing, especially when the likes of Xantares is hitting all of his shots. But what really impressive was actually Sick. But
yeah, no, I was going to say, yes, he had great stats, but they were a bit inflated at anti-eco ace and some kills like in rounds where Space Soldiers, you know, were eco or something like that. But a lot of players contributed. Obviously, Xantares had impact in gun rounds as well. But Alex had ground, everyone ended at the very end. So it was truly an effort, and we believe Space Soldiers may next round have with their individual play. You have to remember they lost both pistol rounds, so to come back in your gun rounds is quite impressive from here.
We move on, and now it's time to hear from Desperate.
It's an on 1-0. The Space Soldiers yesterday's game against Cloud9 did not go well. As in-game leader, what was the game?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be hard against Cloud9, probably top 50 now in the world. I expected it, and I think we lost anti-eco, and then it was going. They just we stopped them, and off of that we just made a stuff where was missing on the front, and that's basically over. Played really good with good play and chances.
I know in-game league is so for you. How much is Alfonsi?
I'm leading, and to be honest, I'm doing it no one to it, so I think I'm learning. It's basically pretty mouse was just said he will do it, and he was learning and learns the process and play with every game. And
well, now you have a chance to go 2-1 as you'll be facing a pretty strong Navi, so I know the cups out by watching the game.
Yeah, we watch us. So we have a chance to win the game, and also that individual form of everyone's.
Well, thanks a bit.
Yeah, so you heard it from Django, a leading role. What have you made so far?
Against Space Soldiers, they were lucky that Space themselves, and they had great performance from both Dennis and Screen now and Speed. Although the players don't really expect to both perform that well at the same time in their second to Cloud9. So
they were humiliated.
They were humiliated. And against Navi, you do feel like this Navi being humiliated. That was my words in game that they do have overwhelming firepower that should power them through this one.
It's to predict. We did watch Navi at the moment, but one thing Sprout can do, as we've seen that you know, they've been doing their homework trying to do so, is that Navi, where you actually watching them again, for example, you know, we saw Navi in this mouse yesterday, there was tendencies that's very with, I was surprised. So that they just potentially gain, just on that but then you know, happen.
Yeah. Well, I've got to be honest. So the other player that lost Django, it just insane to get brushed aside by the likes of both these.
Well, not it's a play.
The individual and
I was criticizing yesterday when working. You can see the thought process behind what was going. That's not how you can come back into that sort of game. And again, you see some of the frustration from Drew players. Okay, you can see Zeus as the in-game rallying the group. From an individual level, right? This team, the likes of first foremost and Electric after him, stepping their game and supporting him.
So one quick thing actually about yesterday I noticed on Mirage, they put in a really heavy role. I feel like Simple was only having impact towards the end round when a lot of his teammates were dead. The situation was already kind of bad. Maybe he's a couple frag, but he is impactful as if he's from the get-go and opening all the mid rounds.
And something has to be said. There's a strong chance of them playing Mirage against Southport. Same style, very differently, right? Because against have a bigger advantage when it comes to skill buys and aim buys. And in that case, it would be fine and trusting, right? Obviously, because that's where they can release with the amount of pressure, puts in a position, and then take match and pass them from maybe some mistakes.
Get to the map. Sprout selected Mirage. A little bit surprised. And Navi on the reaction.
Obviously, from sports against Navi, they think they replicate that style. It's very important for them though to get at least this amount of 5 rounds in the first half, and then if Navi repeat their style, you have distinctive setups that you can go for. Something where they're ready to go for. There's two questions where they first execute to the side, and then they can hold the initial onslaught of Navi.
And for me, it's interesting. We look at the mouse they played, well, mouse taking it, and so of course it was Sunny really hitting it, and it never quite it was always there. Actually, Navi just sort of gave up that idea again. Mouse. I don't know that I could really emulate that. And, so all he can play on that was a big rotation for Navi, but I still don't think it's good as well.
So predictions. I think this is the hardest one probably actually. So.
I think Navi the picks, but I think now I'm a bit more secure in his opinion.
I think it's clear cut. Despite the discrepancy in skill discrepancy again, it's so wide that we'll be able to just overpower and stop out in that sense.
I don't think any Navi. Hey, I'm going to go to the break. We're back in the most Sanders.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we have the E-League Major. I'm at the Boost Mobile casting desk with Moses. Been raw and wild so far, Moses. Now we're going to get into Na'Vi and Sprouts.
I love it.
Do you do?
I don't know why.
I mean, I'm just trying to... this feels like a project to me. Just you don't have to talk about the name too much. It feels like someone had like a very clear idea in their minds about what it was, sort of like what it's meant to be.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I get it yet, but
the execution's not fully
But it
there.
has made me interested, so I think that's already a success. Like, I'm already like, what's going on? Like, I kind of know more now. Like, what's happening with this?
I think I saw them with an interview like before the event, before the games began, where Dennis was saying something like they started out and the team was like named Seed.
Yeah, because they couldn't publish it yet, right? They couldn't like publish the name, so Seed, and then it was gonna sprout. But then does it work on if they win the major? Like, something else?
They become a plant.
There's not here. I mean,
we're gonna work on it.
Now we're headed into the game. It's Sprout on the T side and Na'Vi on CT side, and so far it's all armor and pistols here on Na'Vi. No defuse kits, no grenade. Just want to essentially kill Sprout and get close to him. On side, never let them down.
Well, it's got the spray site and the defense is the correct ramp, and it's working out. Flamey and Simply has one more. Doesn't have to go down, but they know where two of Sprout are, and Dennis get away. Just Speedy left. He's got no armor. He does have a Oliver. Chimes in. It's a good start for Na'Vi.
Yes, it is. They landed work perfectly. So,
yeah.
So good on Na'Vi. They have always been playing a miserable tournament up until this point. I mean, you have to hope that that's going to change now, but they've not had a good time.
A miserable match on this map yesterday. Well, very map. I mean, just kind of doing a lot of contact plays, walking through smokes right into AW in this match. Starting on the CT side, though, they look pretty comfortable. I talked to Simple earlier today about this match, and he just pretty much assured me that they were going to get it done.
Wow, personal assurance from the man himself. Obviously, much pain. Being maybe one of the best players in the world. They do have on 3 players here. Eagle or a CC going to win a 2 kills with a UMP, so that's not bad at all. Now it's being hunted, but Simple's going to be there for the backup.
You want to see Simple the Undertaker. That's how you want it today. Simple Undertaker.
Yes, I mean the favorite version of Simple.
Yeah, you don't want to. You want Simple the Undertaker to come in, take over the game, just call it a day.
He's actually split his fan base by creating 2 brands.
Alter egos.
Yeah. It's not a common so.
Generally, he's pushing for librarian phone. Do
you think he's called schizophrenia or something? No, but I like it. It's good every once in a while. Crystal with the taser. I enjoy that. Speedy with the flashbang that are running into Flingo, so just getting completely shut down. Grenade. Really massive. Gonna get one Simple. 3 pretty early east round 4 now. We should look almost brush by.
Yeah, the real question is how many rifles they upgrade. And actually, Simple's going to go over to the M4 Flamey, invest in the UMP, and keep the 3 UMPs, which is actually traded one more time. The M4 to Electronic, I believe that's because he has a good side. I believe he's going to do the jump on the boxes and push into Palace, and maybe not the other way.
Just thinking about it maybe for a good fun. You can read that. Instead, 3 men running, jumping out the window to try and get that neutral very early on. Simple, such a great position, and they know there's someone in the smoke. That is a lot of trouble. He isn't. I'm making for back up there, Simple. Want someone else to be in the window.
That smoke kind of foiled it, isn't it? Innocent's going to split towards the Zeus. How well does it work? Perfectly. He's on ball blind. He's got 1 kill of bullets, and he's got to get away. His teammates are here to back him up. Molotov restricts his movement, but it doesn't matter. Sprout is stuck. Crystal opens things up, and there's Zeus again. Never able to get a new clip in the magazine, or a new magazine in the gun. Edward's going to try and work his way into the bomb site.
Man, that was pure chaos for a minute there for Zeus. I don't want to see this replay of that. Quick enough. Crystal still got Flamey's down. Speedy. Flamey's off to a very good start in this game. Innocent now, 1 versus 3. He's got plenty of time. 7. Maybe he couldn't kill someone if he gets the chance. Attempted headshot, but no. And Edward will take him down. So now we're losing quite heavily with 3 members down, but they do hold on.
It was the bonus round, though, wasn't it? It was. I mean, they had 3 UMPs going into that round. The most expensive thing they lost was the AWP, not able to recover and. Almost Zeus with the USP, but Simple finally gets from the kill. Edward with the relation to the bomb site. The armor utility is out looking to do some damage, at least at bomb. With this kind of investment, you'd almost have to do that to break it.
Now, a lot of great pistols here. Someone close, which fortunately right there is nobody really holding close, but if they're right around the corner, sometimes you could just run someone down, get a good grenade in. Here, the smoke in the bomb site, they still have the 3, so make their way with the bomb on the other side. We'll see how much they can draw people out. Really fast. Maybe if they're quick.
Cool, they executed the Zeus. Such a success of Simple. Going to allow that 2 great shots. These are still in market. He's going to spot crossing as well. Now they still can get on. I'm going to get aggressive. He wants to put a stop to it, but it's not. He gets taken down. That should ensure the plant. No one else from Na'Vi too aggressive. They just want to actually win this, and Speedy's got to do
Simple is so quick with these kill sets. Send necessary and with so much damage, it's not enough. Still kill Simple, and honestly. When Zeus is at kitchen meeting and just looking up into the hallway, when Simple gets these 2 kills, it's so much easier to stay. Like his incentive to run away is really at that point in time. Whereas if Sprout kill on A, maybe he'll be distracted.
You can use 2 kills. Zeus kind of considered to rotate. He was actually still coming over towards the A bomb site, believing it's A. So, I mean, very critical stuff for Sprout hitting that bomb. So I think Zeus get farther away. Maybe there's a chance for Sprout to move into some post-plant setups. Artisan with this very impactful and aggressive nade up to the top. Not a whole lot of damage done. This is played out a moment. Control out. It's innocent. So Dennis and Zen coming on pass. So we're probably going to see some action pretty.
Going for the Smokey at the right eyes and someone right on the other side. It's Electronic. Been waiting. Right, so if that was Flamey. Gonna follow it up with a bit of a flashbang. Doesn't do much. Dennis crouching in. That's an easy kill. Very well done on his part. It looks like they're about to crunch the bomb side with them. If they all come through this mid connector, it's going to be very hard. Flamey that way. Still got 50 seconds.
I mean, they back off that connector pressure. Edward got to book it over to the B bomb. So you're going to start hearing footsteps. This is going to be an awkward angle to spot them coming around into the bomb site. He managed to get this. There's first Edwards arrived, and Zeus just playing to survive. He wanted that angle, and he's got into the day, and as well.
That was a sequence from he made at the perfect time, and the fact that he didn't go to critical, he was in a good position because they're Speedy now, 1 versus 3 with 25. He took the bomb, and he's going to get shut down. Quad here for Super. 6-0. And I agree, though. That mid-round call Sprout to go for this bomb site was so good. I mean, I thought that was
very cool. I also like you want to keep one player either in somewhere mid to maybe cut someone trying to flank or just slow down the rotation. If he could have just held Edward for maybe not that Zeus would be able to more efficiently, and they can actually get a bomb plant and maybe win the round. But you can't. I mean, it was just a cool call. It's perfectly like. So especially considering we just had that that's where we're like, yeah, I'm calling because no one else wants to. So another player, tough Anders. It's in a 0 ADR.
What? How many rounds?
That's 0 per round.
Someone's made a graphic mode. I'm sure that means he had a pretty good game yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's kind of shocking. And I mean, and 1 kill well, so they're going to be getting early on. Chris running in the middle with that 1 punch on 1, and Dennis can't even get up to help him. That motor blocking his path, so even if he wanted to be there, now Grace running into the underpass, and they're getting bombed down there. Edward gets the kill. Then Speedy and Sen at least answering back a little bit, but it's too late at this point here. Speedy pulling 2 people at once, and going to go down to Flamey. At another round here, making it 7-0 to point out. On the other end, we have Flame 10-1-1, so with 9-2.
This be that when you have these kinds of players, when you have guys like Electronic and Simple, that's such a pro trio. With rifles, with all of it. So you like to see them aggressive. You like to see them kind of exerting their influence and their will across this map, and really just restricting what they can do, pushing up mid, not even let them get into the game. This is that kind of space that you always thought Bobby would bring out, and it's showing here against Sprout.
Very common basic execute bombs, but there's a reason why it's so popular. You need one grenades raining down, Flamey in it again. He's having such a hard time. This is an Electronic line. Now the X goes the fight here. Crystal died without 9, and Electronic for him 8-0. I mean,
very convincing 8-0 as well.
Went closes on Sprout's behalf, you know.
Throw in the towel. See that
they forgot to say what it's turning into. 9th round is coming up, and
at this point, I mean, they've just been battered, so as you stay safe in this map, you can just kind of... There's Flamey, double up, he's got 2 of them. There goes Dennis and Zen. Trunk has control of halls. I mean, this round is virtually... Just have to see how it plays out. Bomb is dropped to the ramp. Can't get a whole lot worse for Sprout.
With really Electronic, he actually just ran into Arbor. That's no information to be on. With the bomb dropped in front, it's obviously a problem. Zeus does go down to single-handedly open up. Gonna take down Simple. He's so much work. Is that enough to draw somebody out? Electronic is still waiting on the bomb. They hammered him with that triple. Now he's a little bit speedy, trying to maybe someone out with a bit of a gunshot. 45 seconds. 5-on-3 into a 3-on-3. Speedy still handily opening all of this up. Can keep going. Tries for the flick, not quite yet. The rest are still not. Actually, Ed gonna shoot him back just a little bit too late. Just did so much work in the crouched in. The time can't be better than that. He's gonna get the kill again. So I feel bad for Speedy, man. He put his heart into this round.
Yeah, he did. Honestly, doing all. They never cut any attention away from this A ball. Flamey was doing that to good act. I don't think he's a player you think could be. This was good duels by Speedy. Obviously, finds Simple, goes for the peek, baits out a shot, and then he just has the angle. Tough to do more if you're Speedy there. And Innocent, he actually anyway, he's still on 0. Not gonna lie to you.
What's happening? Are we sure? Maybe it's Max. There's
that's in. It is in.
I mean, there's gonna be a lot of you know.
I'll do that. Bold strategy. See if it works out for him.
Yeah, I think about configuration. Maybe he's become, you know, doesn't want to be a part anymore.
Make love not work.
Something like that. Flamey Going to be at the triple box once again. He's kind of on the round here, so if they're running down, simple hiding at the edge, and let's see if he can. It's not always a one with sometimes a little different, especially at the outline. Flamey, easy enough in there. Now the Deagles that are left need anything at this.
Tough, you know, eco strategy of Deagles to go for pickoffs with them when you are running into the two ops of Flamey and Simple with 4 kills in this round. You're not going to win that battle a whole lot.
Listen, at least in the breaking a record, I think it must be a record to damage for 10 rounds.
Not the one you want to hold.
You know, say that. all good, right?
Yeah, in a way. Yes. What can you say about that one?
I don't know. I think you're just going to have to hold breath right now and just wait Sprout to show that they can make it back. Obviously, this version of Na'Vi is the one that is internationally feared and one that's really hard to overcome. It just hasn't really appeared in the tournament yet. Now, finally, something is happening for Na'Vi, and Sprout are just not loving it. Right, got the kill there. Dennis, an innocent pick. Amy. Now, 5 versus 3. They should be able to convert this into a win.
He's on it. He's on the board. Electronic rotating over towards CT spawns. If Sprout continue for this, that is exactly what Na'Vi wants. It's where they have all their players, all their adjustment from Simple. Holding the back pillars, and there's Innocent, another one, and this should surely be around for Sprout. Electronic lightning works magic. 20 HP though. No reason not to go for this and just try and get some extra kills. Go down swinging.
Sprout need the rifles. It looks like they're trying to get all. That is big in the first half to be picking up the first round, but still, let's see what happens. Never want to come in on the scoreline now. It's about to be, and Sprout, yeah, just one big opening there. Edward running up the stairwell, and picked off, and Innocent winning a fight in the middle.
I mean, that's the first time we've seen Sprout able to control the aggression from Na'Vi, so they put a stop to it, and then, I mean, obviously with a huge advantage in manpower. Just playing the game on their way into the B-bomb, sighting Zeus, taking it. So good one for Sprout. As crazy as there's like 8 to 5 rounds, they have, 4 or 5 rounds, they can give them at least hoping into that second half.
Sound like you had trouble saying those words, you know.
Doing my best, yeah. It's just like we have.
Yes, but I mean, I agree. No, I'll take it. I think you're right. It's possible. We've seen it happen before. Just seem very open pull, bring him to Molotov, but still standing right on top of it. So yeah, I'll point that over. That's it. No fire anymore. Everything else. Wait a minute.
Nicely done from Dennis to open things up. So they're about to get the open pull. Aggression. Edward's gonna follow things up. There's a ramp with high. There's a good spot. Not just get away. He's stuck though, and he's fortunate to get that one. Scary moment. Lives to fight. Zeus alone at this B-bomb site.
Electronic and Speedy were actually having a bit of an over on the other side, but it seems like that's all back, and instead Electronic goes for his aggression from him. That's actually really big. If they run like this, he's gonna be able to hear them. He knows they're coming. Crouching, that's an easy bomb carrier. Big mistake for Sprout. That can definitely cost them. Now it's 4 versus 3. They must win. They're so good. Crouching in, shooting right through the wood, and that's a kill for him. 2 versus 4 coming in from the catwalk to Titan. Now it's 1 versus 4. This was somehow.
This is let's pick some out of the sky. The kills for 14 for Electronic and 13 for Simple.
Have great time at the top right now. On the other team, nobody see past 10 kills. Speed with them for Innocent. Yeah.
That's the reset. Just as I talked about, they shut it down. There's team to see guys first.
It really is that building. Many a good photoshops can be famous, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh wait a minute, it's gonna be the they failed it.
The wise man Zeus is always into the outcome.
Yeah. Innocent though, this time he's gonna headshot, taking Zeus. Now they're looking into it a little bit preoccupied. That could have got boom. 4 versus 4. They can damage.
They have mid. They have nowhere really to go from here. They've got no nades. They've got 2 deals, and that kind of has to do it. Dennis has the other, and they're both tagged up players. Well, Dennis gets his face taken off. Shout out John Travolta.
Well, Innocent is continuing the same way, taking down Edward, crouching and Simple, trying to flick, but uncharacteristically missing. And at the feet of Speed, a lot more damage when that happens. 3 on 3. The ways for the retake can be a little bit silly. How it all, but easily taking down Innocent, to follow up, and in so much trouble. There's 1 great headshot, just almost getting Electronic so close.
Not enough, but I mean a good round overall. It's tough to find blinding because they didn't.
Sun is still shining.
Still to, I don't know. I keep thinking it's on some point to go for some Sprout plant puns. And I myself get a Henry case.
Yeah, that is also his problem. It's that's hard to really judge. It's now 14th round. Follows off into the middle. Always a good idea. And I mean, they got the kill last time, so why only took 5 this time? And they do a 3-man attack here and turn around. So if the rest get flashed, Electronic will be the one taking charge. And on the other side, Dennis is waiting.
What a pounce here. Mr. Dirty reset if they would that, but now it's simply breaking it's just wording like Zeus hasn't taken one of these for the majority of this game. He hasn't really like peeking up mid, that's down. It's at least in the last 4 rounds, figured out a good way to get some kills and yielded these lead results.
It's about looking up. It took a long. It's very hard to get the whole team running.
Pretty execute here. See if any others are closest to the A bomb, and they're going to block off by Sooks. That will be advantage of route.
Will they wait for the smoke for their flame? Sometimes we'll forget, and I'm saying it's about here. It's on simple to cut. Sooks running through. Flamey, one and bullet to some raptors now. 1-3. I see maybe upset situation, but this was very well done. Sprout many mistakes. Ball down and they're starting back.
He's going to go for as well. One more you see what happens. There's willing and pressure on this might pose and right in Zeus just didn't know that happens to happen. So you find 2 kills down in order.
So they're getting in that direction. 12 to 50 coming 3 middle and could be looking something like a 12 to 6 one in the first rifle round. Those are all in the place final before we can really talk.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of war of the fertilizer.
See, it didn't feel terrible. The after did.
Almost did.
This time Zeus is not on at the beam, so he's very simple. Laro is nearby for backup. It's actually very posh. Rex Crystal, they down. This one's in play. It's just beneath him. The what he's had. This is a split per se. He's got a hold on him.
The kill down. Oh, the crystal. Shorts and down. Really good defense play from Edward. Make a shot, take innocent. Will be 1 versus 3 for the 15th round. So not very much left for him. We need him to make a mistake. Give him a kick the whole way. I mean, if they just wait and then bridge it. No whatsoever. Navi, even though they haven't really big aim. When he needs to, I'm not just saying that, but Amy just peeking. Oh my god! He's running around unbelievable. Get feet well. That should never
time to get fired for a comeback.
You ready for it, Moses?
That was nice for speed. That was the 2nd round. I'm unsure of where he's going first.
He should be criticized for even making those good, but that doesn't mean that's easy what he did. Not easy much.
I mean, fair play. I don't think Navi played the one from Catwalk, Gorky Chucky, one player in Mark for the window. I guess the only criticism could be the partner player could have not taken angle and just yes, that's a scary stat.
I probably would say so, but we're between Flea and this step rough. 12 here in the sun. Just joining us a very uphill for Sprout. They've not a good time at all on the T side. Now the T side, he's not to have a time to bet, but that's just our so he put his but he can't see anything. All of him at the ascent, pulled by electronic follow up and now innocent to I have a trying to so hungry chase him.
Feeling overconfident, still turn. He's going to do this more round. He has to do this. This is turn round. He's got fast. He's only got 7 bullets to work with here. Angle just right now, so he's basically got to stick to an electronic just play here. A phenomenal effort, but it was just too far out of round. 13th for Navi.
And that's what's thinking, I mean, one thing over GT around too much, but the returns not too much. But after the almost comeback, crazy. I didn't hard get in his effort his usual level. I mean, he could do. And it seems like all depends on it.
And that's shot on to simple. Doesn't take too much damage for as well. There's 2 in connector. Really not going to win it. He's going to get not another one. Zen Fun actually.
More confusion there in the middle. No, we're with Crystal, but it won't be. Bats away, and that's pretty favorable for Navi, so maybe Sprout want to read.
Once you hear those AKs ring out in mid, he's going to really peek and tell you.
He is.
He's on A ramp this whole time, and you're just kind of waiting for when you feel it's the right moment, your play kind of start leading your way and lead your team A bumps. He's going to Zeus to get here to help clear things to B, but the moment the pressure is spotted up. Now the rotation on for Sprout, but Edward's waiting and will prevent that from occurring.
Looks like they're going to challenge him. Bobbing on the side. Dennis Gentry, so sent versus 3. Means 11 bullets, still reels, doable.
Yeah, I guess it's possible.
That's what I was. The best of possible.
Well, he's not going to go for it. Going to beat the arm the next round. It's like there's no right answer. If you're Sprout and you're 3 to 14, you 4-5, you stay and get 15 rifles, make the cut, and I guess there's really no way to decide this make point.
Yeah, I mean, there has to be like a collective team decision. I think everyone feeling like, oh, how crazy can this get? I think that we necessarily needed it, but one of my favorite strats, or one of the if we get that close, is actually to run the A ramp. I don't think it's really like people just. There, like, just running, I mean, you can do the people. I always like to do that.
It's so fun for a moment.
Yes. You round, right?
Yeah, I mean, situationally, I enjoy it. I very much like the places of the A-bomb. So even if it's coming through a smoke, sometimes you can catch that defender pretty hard. And it's actually bombs. It's unfortunate.
And comedy criticizes them for that, and I think just half trying. Didn't work out this time. So we're looking at their speed, both you said. Let's kill them. Had money for it. In the upcoming round, round number 50 to the 3 of Sprout.
Yes. Obviously, electronic plenty up to 21 now. Just ways to win this game for 20 rounds to play with, win by eventually choking off all the funds of Sprout.
Yeah, there's so many ways this didn't fail. So, long road ahead, and they also don't seem to be particularly energized. There's no one really charged. Crystal and Fleet is definitely started. And on the desk, hoping to look over the smoke. 3 men in the middle and over on the other side of it. Ways. Maybe that's another A apartments.
He's also fortunate through smoke. Simple for this position. His teammates are all in mid. Peaked yet until being used. That's a good boost on Catwalk. Crystal, with only 16 HP, still falling a second. Crystal's got to make a play first. And just still, actually, he's inside the bomb site. So that's an No damage dealt. Sword way up. Order test. You're coming on Molotov. Sends in connect to hold him back, and Zeus to make a run for somehow. That's going to work out.
Spawning here. To get a fall back, that was disappointing. That's going to be a great pick off. Snaps alone in 1 versus 3. To follow up. Oh my god, look the simp, you monster. Quad kill and 16-3. Next the Undertaker coming strong to play. Ridiculous on the game.
A beautiful form for this game. That's what we see and we didn't want in this game called it showed in this.
This is rough.
If there's anyone to find a blazing positive encouragement, I believe it's going to be kind of rich and two being very much known that.
You're ready.
Yeah, that's already.
Come on, let's get this. Less on the other side of the bench run.
Remember, man, our tickets are available. Sprout Mandy getting some. eleague.com/. to get yours, and we hope to see you in Boston. Henry Jeans joining on the desk. You could hear it there.
You have a place to have those sort of being we made 3 in a row now. So segment practices, the tactics you need to go everything on their page. That did not sound like a happy group of players there, but we really do. And simple and plain, and that's what
sure.
There's not really like ever to beat them, and that's the sort of level. But still, they.
And Salika set you up to play. Navi to pack. Not never grow there again.
I don't have the problem. I'm not about irrigation, and I think when we're playing the seeds in which you're never going to grow. To be honest.
That's
why we don't use it. Anyway, no, I mean, it's brutal reality for Prout, you know, but you can see they were luckily holding the game either because no one's hitting their shots.
I think literally they went to a desperate department. They were using you to that point. Everyone was either trying to keep up on working, you know, people are just being desperate, and it didn't get that tactics that I was impressed with the game from the way.
Yeah, a good way back now, obviously, after getting more time out spots, but
you're beating a single scrap that didn't even whatsoever. Always confidence that they want, but only excited and than I did yesterday. Just not turning up to them to suffer whatever. Simple great job game. He's the highest score in the tournament. The team's not doing so.
I think
Right then, look, so after that game, you go to it. That's right, and they want to probably match the best on days. Now, class doesn't. Let's from shots from G.
Josh on the turn. I recently went back to Naylor, so it was a remit.
I think overall during the year we can just help you team and or style last week, so it's like and coming up to this year I expanded my to play and definitely to like CS and I just works and finishes more comfortable the way I'm playing in a main.
Really to be paid so far and I didn't know what to act on situation because that SK was off the side and T-side, so it's a challenge.
It has been for like 1 or 2 months, so certain period, not care about everything T-side. The only thing which has changed is that not me from everyone in the team. I'm doing what I was enough trust and what can make good difference if they like I still don't yes or no if you don't do that. That's overall they can feel free to whatever.
You guys are just one away from getting the base and anyway, and they said it 6 and overall.
Definitely some teams last week, so not way much surprise as the retake because even in exact we played them so because they like and like that teams working for. So but we have we definitely not get there. So
thank you so much. I'm going to today.
Alright, it's one advantage to be all versus invasion. This is an issue that they have permanent level.
Certainly it's overall. Massive drop there for a couple. It's big thing. I think the issue has been I don't even think he's harder than this go for all time. He's like now. Him the budget, like not good enough. He's out to one. The team is going to find something really deep.
We know the next one last year, probably about at least split it with the apparent counter now. It's all in my vote. Yeah, it works. I find these guys not someone to take down. We can't do it. Someone else needs to win. It's as simple as someone to take them.
Nothing. You've got a future. No
I
problem.
was just considering like, who would do it, and people doing CT slow. There is calling CT slow, which is side, which is mid-round telling people maybe actually normally that's a pleasant intuition. But I think maybe it's all about sales. I think it's doing right now. And we're playing the last couple of games, just for not used to working out.
So yes, the base print. I want to try is it's a win out of a fake. No, it was one swallow leader. Yes, and probably not investment because it is put a visual that one wins off.
Let's not forget there are two more ways to it. The guys overlook it. I've seen a lot of pro leagues as their own limits. These guys absolutely put number. This is the way Chuck's plays. I will start seeing JR can do. But it poses and things out of this thing. Sure, this is the
that's a lot. Crazy thing. Just still seeing, but also they've done it. It's like Vegas one. That's an organization. They get
with this team, so they are the defense and responsibility. But that's what seems for the most. It is one victory. Very good even tournaments, better for us. And this is the more you win like that, the more it start to take up. And then actually go to what you don't expect it. I really think it's been money. It's not them. Right. Well, that's I actually think like I think look team each day for them.
What's interesting? So I like just the day did really start. He's old. And anyway, he's a misfits to that G2. But here, once again, we see not rich. But it's way. He should have come. He did it. He was is overpassed. And she just on the side. So
it's not actually kind of disappointed with the game. He's watching the flex. They're green, but past already aggressive map. By default, she's checking which is the first. I can figure out the map doesn't because
we're the T side of you know, it's very common. We're seeing push and testing people. But this match happening so great for the but I'm not going to with this one. Like he's going to be in
no, Harry, it's only that both Franks 9 at some point.
All three gets off actually. I go to I'm sure what he should. Yeah, he's kind of building the tournaments. I'm a bit curious to see if I can take the rhythm, but also is I think things like I can see looking into the Rams. Two, I've been single digit.
I know, so they're going to go right.
Well, that's a bit more thing.
Well, I'm not really all things that come to them and all potential they have, but I think that's one thing because I think D2 is just crushing. I think they'll be crushing. Very, very crushing.
Very, very crushing.
Incredibly stupid.
Okay, incredibly
crushing. These are the Sharks.
Very well.
And they'll be
G2 on the T side, Ace has D1. This is what we've seen big front Shocks before. His sword is not terrible. And I'm sure we'll be looking for the dual indicator of Fused Commander. Shocks just take a point left away. Let's see that perspective. So far, so good. Yeah, around the area. And okay, just 5 versus 2. They are starting to rule.
Well, this team drops it. Yeah, quite well in the fighters. They've been looking to this design. They're playing retake. It's hard like beats on this phase. Well, they seem to now be able to do it all on his own. Almost all this, that's not issue. The kill on DK. And those ones very good. Contact and a mid frag. That was very comfortable. This one was weak.
It was a start through Mekos. But what do you almost never to force air? How do you answer? What's making slow to the few by car in this round? One for every step out. Rivals 40 still getting bullets, it seems. Shocks is 15 landings in Pacific. Lots of it is, and Shocks will always is. He's really getting there. He's given it. It's a season to and he rushes down ladder. He's always here as a big down, but you can avoid giving him to your ladder and land on the correct low, and then get a sneak and
teasing down. Before they wanted to previous from G2. When you get 2 frags, you have your supposed to deal with. Gee, nice. So that's pretty good as well. Still got team back on DK finds a position around the look body or something safe, or they lose 3 players. Okay, put it. And they should have a rebound.
Very important to do that. He makes one and kill 2. In round 2 with down there. But got away with it. Don't repeat taking forwards. And better respect. He makes a cool speaking monster from his team. He's going to speak for time.
In the world. He's still using his oh, that's pretty. Some movement from G2. That's all enough. Kills for shot. That's since we started the previous round. So
G2 made with something hold and otherwise have. That's quite reasonable. Like, if Shot can do with DM, will be quite curious. If he may be in trouble and they can upgrade. Keep an eye on time. Looking towards B where CTs. Pick the amount of point. He's one for a short tip. So that's a stronghold and bomb back squadron. B.
Just getting battles of fights and they go pretty well. But the money model was out of the sand, smoke off the side and hold on to that area. But it's going to be a he's got 2 extra buttons. One as key on the side could potentially come from another position. It's really very awkward for you two. I have no idea how to turn off. In position, but to this bomb side. So he may just try to manage to pop. See the one already. So sit back to manage. He's going to play it as a round.
Containment. G2 at the moment. Maybe trying to push if put their way. Flank from Mother to Kenny. Quite a bit. Expect the big squadron on the side. As the circle room once again. G5 indicating it for a double belief setup. May sometimes he on enemy, sometimes he will be for the push on its ways. I mean, down into the war of this run. He is toward B. This thing map is all taken by Vegas, but fairly quick as well. Kenny, looking at usual. Vegas looking to pitch short beat. Keep in mind flanks. And I suppose might be flanked by Nokia. So this line, and you know, so he's coming up.
Oh, gets one with the USP. But actually, double point drop with damage with the main before going out to the left. He's supposed to from cover toward actually doing it. With 90 times road, it was long enough. This could have split the attention of G2 players. But so far, the hold towards the bombs. And the smart way to play it underneath the DNA yet. But G2 holding nerve, playing with the and as a result, they're going to be the one big point actually, now G2 concede after for G2, actually people saying like, we also win this, really low. Actually, says like more out of the sides, so almost it's a bit so, or that's me, really good team, G2 social, making for a bit more confident. That would be cool.
Down to the most part, starting out with DP. I've taken touch from Casper as they did show earlier. No one's like G2 knows that range they were going for. And I wonder, I thought he spoke to the teammate, or he may use the team right because of the full foot as well. So Salamis, in the meantime, Kate's on the SE shots, skill, flash, actually, and power. He's got the ace, I would put down, no one like a G for them.
It looks like but indeed, so that's a good sign. But it's now the curious thing is not yet how you like to approach things because B2 haven't seen Kenny go off his sim, take a JP as you expect toward bound, take a position on the different as soon as he starts getting going, and if you have a team to look for this, I'm very curious how you will have now it's just good to get much shit.
Purpose will be guys in the 3 kills, and he'll already seem takes time to job, even later on shots. Always love this kind of shot situation, moving around, King between time, NK, and one hold outside. So that's a flank of the rotation should be quite nice. Didn't get a chance about it in the round, but there was a shitting play on bottom of the the next thing I'll try to point out is a useful position to go home to take. You continue around the toilet, that can be pretty strong, because your aim is story tactical by Vizor.
That's pretty good. In comments, it's Kenny set CB activated in the background. We will likely see a from him. Said in the stage of this timeout, is CG2 the mixer. So it's 2 a lot of confidence in move speed. Almost towards A here. G2 mixing up to loot.
Shadow on the side. Yes, scores the G2 going. If you like it, 2 legs hard, but it's still going. That's so crazy. What did he do? It's not because what me run a back actually. It could be worse or case scenario for the now. Do you think take a decision? Yes. Watch it. The case on the middle angle. Has that advantage. You'll see Shadow if you move up, backing up. I mean, like that's on the wall. That's not possible.
Yep. Very aware of the situation. The choice of the 5-7. One of the people she's over the season. And actually, this makes more sense. You can have a actual position where you give up on the regional final position. You get the opportunity for a very fat new round test. So we'll see what we do. It's a potential fast learn activity with something from here's a bomb MBK going forwards for that. Next one. The question. He's a potential use. Let's catch it to him. Now they know actually it's different. He comes in and wins one.
Back came behind. 40k at the right angle, which may have been ultimately there are no rounds. Just made it. This Tuxedo is being as he shot a kill. Not his own squadron as present. However, so while it's now, he can't towards they are on they lose this maximum. Then he's not right off in along, and maybe he's needing to escape in to the ether.
So talking about thinking as these into the wall gets oh, there you go. What is going on? Into the hands. There's actually a state possible. It's gets for Vegas. You go towards B, you're into A, B, towards A, then you apply Kenny. So we probably did have a flank to defend that first kill, but the time was just totally off. And fucking against the likes. Yes.
It's slow. It's slow.
Oh, time on the flash aim.
God. I love it though. Marvelous. Kenny, you love to see. And S is letting up top and kill 5 with 10. And he using it. Tactical from at the moment. It's actually nothing's working there at all.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why was that 2 start each time. If they pick up the one, then you get to sit the match for DWS, they can just activate all the skill on their team. They can all across, really just shut down the team and where to combat is a tactical play. And we see that we have to hold the right timings on the bot. You have perfect basing of your team. It's quite difficult against you. It's more difficult areas. Yes,
4 players in all feet that flash receiving forward. Yeah, Vegas now has more than 1 around. So far, it will yield something one and say that only 2 seconds situation. What do you think? He's fine.
It's okay. And we'll be with the red off. So confidence from the G2 stay on the not done anytime soon, honestly.
It's at the point. It's by me on last year he had 60k and bought a grenade. These are all I could go so sweet. So it's basically based on the problem at this point you don't even do max 3 round because so much this is what I want to do to it's what has made it
so you can use the G2 to ball. Just from very clean from G2 across nation continue with the defend. There's no trade, no spacing for to get off, pull the pilot until there's nothing left. You see this is that's horrible. That's significant. It's not playing into.
Something I've wanted is an NWP party standing on when it's on it itself. Miss. So what G2 in last 10 to my facing us and Vegas to live that may have to be done. They've got rifles, but they have very small grenades. And I was trying to be some flash, my box so far, but running it to see. And this is nice look back.
I'm like, what do you mean? Very low kill. Then other and X has fails. So let's have a look here. X just raising them by 1. Oh, it's crazy.
There's no good only.
Real firing is amazing. And this is just what we're starting to do. It's actually you know because any or Shilton see that's the data. If everyone turns up, we'll talk the following is very remote. Respect what they do. Run back into anyone.
Can we just know timing or hypothetical? It is making the standing there. Up for a grenade. Get to land a headshot. It's just maybe they're not pick a cell 9-3.
Absolutely. Oh look, you 20 times so much chat. See what you dropping a new top against all these shields. Assault A. Mere operation not bad. Knows he can't take down Guardian. But Guardian will be G12 rounds. Dodger at 1.
Even enough to around 12. Flyers put AR with A at the UP. Base squadron don't have all kill well. All you have rounds. Maybe with H. Runnable. Sandbox is in connector. May have a bit of a shot. His way through short beat. He was really crap. Hey, capital.
Kenny's with the dickman here. You can see quite paranoid potential for the to go down, but he got even saved the right support and he's going back. With presence play, but that just is open. But this is okay, you did the bomb with it. Just take chances in this round.
I'm not sure if they saw the bomb. He ran past it, but didn't necessarily run to see my short. That is so.
The figure sort because it's so teams are doing without it. Right. Ooh, okay, what's getting interesting? Just pick up, make it happen. So, on the 3, do you fancy it?
I'm sorry, and he put up chopper. It is dangerous. It's like it's like this is going to be not a run by. You can try and see says frag.
If one is a putting run it, if he wants to run it, sorry, we have to say Josh. It's kind of crazy side position. They're in the advantage, mostly just due to the we've given up a long lead on round position, so that makes sense, but then very so let's see what quick put down to 19.
Towards short beat, there's been a position short beat from Apex and what it is. That's where he's changing the and now he's back into the off's gone out. Chop beats the last bit of